the other side. Show. Can you load that head, please? Right there. Right there. Just drop it in the fluid. Just drop it in the fluid. But not the control board. Drop. God damn it. I'll do it. You see this part? You see this? That part can't go in the fluid. That's called the control board. It can't go in the fluid. Okay. So the bottom plate sits in the fluid, but the manifold is on top, completely dry. Okay, and so during my show, if you can, every like 20 minutes, cycle one out for me. Yeah, just cycle it out. Don't even turn the pump on. Just to keep it wet. I don't want it to get dry. I like a wet print head. Wet print heads are the best heads.
Not if you're a Ghostbuster.
Okay, so when you reverse the pump, you just got to make sure that your clips are tied, or the manifold will pop off. Because it's not screwed on, man. Okay, my show starts like a minute, okay? Good luck. Just don't get the control board wet, and it doesn't matter. As long as you keep the head wet and the control board dry, and we're good to go. Okay, man. Good luck. Oh, man.
Oh, was that Steve?
Hello?
Hey, was that Steve?
No. Oh. I have someone help me with the heads right now. I had to bring in some help because I don't have time to do everything before I leave tomorrow.
Who's the help?
What?
Who's the help?
Oh, my buddy Sal.
Oh. Okay. Oh, he's at your house.
He's at my house. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm like, keep that head wet, y'all. Adam Van Gissen.
Did you hear me talking to Sal right now over the mic?
Adam did.
Dude, I was in the other room. How was that even possible?
See, Jeremy Schneider, keep that head. No, I heard you. That's why I'm asking you.
Really?
Yeah. Got to keep that. Did you guys hear how Brian was talking to his friend?
It's either too soft or too hot. There's never in between.
That's a true hot mic moment.
All right, let's get it, baby. Hey everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast. And Adam Van Giesen wants to remind you, just the tip. I don't know what that's all about, but I found it funny.
No, just the tip of what you were saying. That's all they caught.
Oh, okay. So okay, hold up. I was in another room.
Your mind is in a different place.
I'm literally yelling out the door. The mic is behind me like 5 feet. I'm surprised anyone.
It was extraordinarily loud. It'll be fun to listen to last time. I thought you were literally sitting at your desk talking, which will make it kind of funny.
You know what?
Anyways,
so Windows has this thing, and if anyone knows how to fix this, please let me know. It automatically adjusts my volume, my recording levels. Like right now, I'm looking at it. Yeah, you see, when I sat down to talk,
yeah,
it dropped me down to 42, but it was at 100 when I sat down. So it just keeps modifying. Yeah, I'm gonna fix it right now. On its own, arbitrarily, it just did it again. Just modifies my volume, and I don't know what to do.
All I can say is, it's done, and you did it, and they heard all the stuff that you said, the terrible things.
I didn't say anything terrible.
I think it sounded like you were whipping that guy with like, a belt or something. It's pretty violent.
Well, so that guy, okay,
who I don't even know who he is.
He likes to be whipped.
Welcome to the show.
It's part of our game.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. We got lots of stuff to talk with you guys about today. Welcome. Good to see everybody in the chat. We're going to be talking some strange new worlds. You guys realize, like, we're less than a week away from the first episode of season 2, and Brian and I have had the joy of watching it, and as well as the first 3 episodes. So we're going to not really give you a review on it, but we're going to talk about it in a little bit. And plus, we're going to tell you about everything we do know coming up about strange new worlds, and kind of from the mouths of the people who are making the show. We're also going to be talking about, believe it or not, we're going to talk about aliens today a little bit. A whistleblower came out from inside the government, the U.S. government, saying that we have, there are indeed aliens. They exist, and he doesn't sound like a crackpot. So we're going to kind of go into that, since strangely, Brian and I know a lot about this kind of stuff. So
yeah, we love aliens. Aliens are cool. Okay.
Well, yeah, and we just kind of, I don't know why, but we know more than we probably should about this stuff.
Well, what it is when, like, we're supposed to be like, say, like making a video or writing a script, we get distracted and we go down various internet wet rabbit holes full of UFO data, and then like 3 hours later, I'm like, damn it, I should have been editing.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people for a good long period of time there. After when the David Fravor stuff came, we're going to talk about it, but yeah, all about it. So, and I'll explain more why perhaps I'm a little more interested, because I was close to something, and I'll tell you more about that later. What else we got going on, Mr. Brian? We got
Shane just came out of the closet as someone who was anally probed by an alien.
Don't Cartman me, man. Don't Cartman me. That anal probe stuff it was hilarious, by the way.
Look, it's not what you think, okay? They're not doing it to be sexual, okay?
Okay.
Hey, so I didn't know what we were giving away today, so I just made up a bunch of stuff. So hopefully it's stuff
really?
You like. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, I've been picking every week, so it's kind of good that you did. And for those of you who haven't gotten your stuff yet, it is en route. So I've been sending out stuff this week, and next week, the people who got the loot crates for May. So we'll quickly go over if you see up there in the upper left-hand corner, you have the Popcast Unleashed, who is the hero so far of the stream, as you support us by sending in super chats or gifting memberships or doing all kinds of various things. Points will come off of that board, and if you end up the Popcast hero, stream hero, at the end of the stream, whoever's had it the longest will get a prize, which we will pick at the end of this episode. Yeah.
Yeah, what he said. By the way, I'm really glad that Shane said en route and not en route, because I had this long debate again about the difference between route and route. And look, I know. No. Every time you always laugh when I start to talk.
Well, because it's weird. It's like en route, en route. Like, how does this become a thing that matters?
Because I'll tell you why.
Okay. Yeah.
First off, and I think my mic volume is like spitting all over the place right now, right?
No, you sound absolutely normal.
Yeah, because I'm watching the effing meter, and it's going up and down like it took crack before the stream. Okay.
We're not hearing it go up and down. At least I'm not.
All right. So check it out. route and route can be used to say the same thing. Route, like that route, right? Or the way Shane said, en route. And then you can also say en route or take that route. But the problem is, why? Why can you use both ways? A route and a route has two separate meanings, except for route doesn't have two separate meanings. So let's just use route for distance, time, path, and use route for stuff, for things that are planted in the ground. Oh my God. Kenneth the Rogue coming in hot.
Why do you care?
Because it bothers me.
But okay. No. That's too easy of an answer. Why does it bother you?
Because it just doesn't make sense.
Okay, ready? Okay, brook. Wait, no, what is it? It's for like a little stream. There's another way. It's
Babbling Brook?
No, it's like what
Crook?
is it? It's no. It's
Creek,
river, or there's another one that's like that. That's like the word that you're saying, where you can say it one of two. Crick or creek. That's it. Crick or creek.
Yeah, just say
there
creek.
It is. Creek or crick. Adam was like, wait, like
just say creek. I don't understand why do we even have a crick option?
It depends on where you're from. See, you're vanilla and you're from California. You've been there your entire life. You are not used to hearing other dialects. So when you're from other parts of the country, which, by the way, like the vocal intonations, you were in Georgia, I think, right? Or
Georgia? Yes, I was.
For a period of time for your army stuff. You remember the way they spoke.
Was that
Georgia?
Words kind of? I did airborne. I was an airborne truck driver. Which is an oxymoron.
That sounds ironic, yeah.
So I was my job in the military was truck driver, and they're like, "Do you want you're airborne?" I'm like, "What am I gonna do? Am I gonna jump out of an airplane with a truck?" Like, I don't understand.
You're gonna be waiting at the bottom when they land.
The jobs don't even mesh properly. But it was an extra $200 a month, and all I had to do was piss myself jumping out of a plane a couple times, which I did.
There's already so much in the world for us to be angry about. Route and route is not one of them.
Yes, no, it is though, because it needs to be fixed. This is why I can never be in charge. Like there will be people
sidetracked.
There'd be people starving in other countries, and I'd be like, presidential decree: never use the word route in reference to distance or measurement.
Yeah, like, you'd get.
Yeah, but sir, the price of milk is $25 a gallon. I'm like, yes, but also crick and creek.
A true politician would say, well, is that a problem for me? Can I still buy the expensive ice cream? Yeah, no, it's not a problem. Okay, we're good. So I don't know how we ended up here. But anyways, if you guys want to participate in the stream, Brian, can you show them the prizes they're going to win today, potentially?
Freaking Steam, dude. I just figured out what was changing my volume. Oh, my God. Discord.
Damn video games.
It was Discord in connection to Steam, and it's done. It's not changing the volume more. Thank you, Jesus. All right. Let me show you what we're winning here. All right. So we got a Legacy mug, a Popcast shirt, and this is the new Popcast shirt. The one that I sent Mexican Iron Man. Mexican Iron Man was super gracious the other day, and I sent him a Popcast shirt. And this is the new Popcast shirt, where it's our more modern comic book faces. Also a Stargate mouse pad.
Do we don't have images of this stuff? I mean, it's like you just
I can show you images.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what am I gonna win? A wheel with a bunch of names on it.
Hold up. Okay, so you usually do this. I did it really quickly.
Well, I sent you images every week. Come on, man.
All right.
But let's go ahead and Kenneth LaRoque is the stream hero now. So congratulations, Kenneth. You guys will be chasing him for the rest of the stream. And thanks a lot. Here's a start. Appreciate the support, Kenneth. You are ahead of the game, sir. And if you guys notice, of course, we've got the top supporters running across the screen. I believe it's the top 10 there. And you'll see, and if you come in first, second, or third for the month of June, you will get a loot crate, surprise loot crate from the Popcast Mixed Teas and some other cool things. So, yeah.
All right, let me show you. I'm getting them. I'm getting them.
On a side note, did you guys see that Indiana Jones is supposed to get 60 to 7 million debut?
How much? Isn't that really low?
That's low. Yeah. Well, considering Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse made 130 million its opening weekend.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That's pretty low. But I got my tickets.
Yeah, I got mine too. All right, what was it? It was and the Legacy mug. That's right.
All right.
Okay. Here's the options. Oh, wait, there it goes. Okay. So we have the Popcast. We're gonna start with this Popcast hat.
Okay.
It's that one.
Well, or you can pick mine.
Or you can pick Shane's, but let's be honest, you're not going to.
Mine's better, guys. Unless you want to look like Superman, I guess.
The Stargate Classic mouse pad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, the Stargate clock.
Whoa, that's one of them?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't mean to make it one of them, but it's going to be one of them now.
Oh, that's cool.
Stargate clock and a Star Trek Legacy, and I don't know where the shirt is.
Mug.
Where's the mug at?
Is it a Legacy shirt, just like this design?
No. I'm talking about the Popcast shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not prepared.
All right. That's okay.
I feel bad.
That's right. It'll also, which Popcast shirt is it? Just our standard one?
It's a new one. That's what I was trying to show you.
We have a new shirt?
Yes, here it is.
Nice.
Here's the new shirt, friends. Friendos.
Stop it. Like doggos. Just don't do that.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Here's the new shirt. Yeah.
Look, it's the new cover for the movie Bros.
So that's what you can win. Let me make sure that clock's
shirt
in there.
All right. Well, thank you. Oh, and Son of John. Hey, good to see you again, brother. 1999. Thanks for the super chat. Hello. I'm still here. Yeah, we hadn't seen you in a few weeks, brother. Good to see you again. He's chunking into Kenneth's lead here.
Okay, friends. Here we go.
Thank you for the support, John.
Wait, no, we're not gonna spin it yet, right?
No, not after at the end.
I'm out of it today. I'm out of it, dude.
And while we're at with the support, Goran Falth for the Swedish kroner, $50. Thank you so much, Goran. It's good to see you again. I love seeing all these faces here. And Archmage Frey for $2. The Stargate clock. Wow. Yeah, it's actually really cool. I think, Brian, don't you have one?
No. You said
you a different one.
You said you were gonna get me one.
No, I bought you a Stargate clock. Don't be saying that.
No. You said you're going to get me one of those. You did. You bought me a record one.
I did. Yeah.
But instead, what you sent me was like a clock with like where the graphic was all like miscentered and stuff. Remember? And I put it up my wall for about 3 days, and I just couldn't handle it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my brother. Anyways. So it looks like this is pretty funny. Goran snuck in there and grabbed the Stream Hero from Archmage, who thought he was going to like be sneaky and drop $2 and grab the Stream Hero. That was smooth, Archmage. Smooth.
Nice try. Nice try, man.
Anyways. All right, brother. Well, a couple things before we're going to do Strange New Worlds here in just a second, which I know you guys are excited to hear about. It's going to be interesting to talk about. You guys are going to want to hear what we're talking about because we have the in on what's happening with Strange New Worlds. But in the meantime, we need a Shane update, a Shine update. He got really weird this week, right?
Yeah, he got real weird.
What happened was he ended up doing a longer video. So about the aliens, is it about the aliens? It is, right? So we're going to be talking about the aliens a little later and the whistleblower stuff, but he did a video on it, put it out, and he gets very, what do you think the word is? Like, almost like tinfoil hatted, right?
He's like very conspiracy type, a little angry. At one point, he also says, "Good luck, humans," or something like that. You're gonna need it.
Well, and then he referred to everyone as us humans.
Right, that's true.
Which I thought was weird. Right. So the AI is, anyways. Shane's doing his business over there. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, Brian, I'm sure we'll show it to you in a second here. a little bit of it. And if you want to join us over on Discord, since we're talking about this stuff, please do so. If you you can come and talk to him, and he will answer your questions in our Discord channel.
Most of the time, we're working on expanding his server capabilities so that people don't run out of ability read writes.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Yes, here it is. So here's the video, and it looks like it's just a bunch of random like footage of alien crap or whatever, right?
Alien crap.
Here's his words.
Yourselves for some out of this world news. So, apparently, there's this whistleblower, a former intelligence official named David Grush, who claims that the U.S.
All right, I don't know where all the good stuff is, but you go watch it.
He drops like an F-bomb like 3 times.
Like 3 times, yeah. He says, "I don't know what's going. I don't know what all this X-Files shit's about or something like that." It's really funny.
He seems almost skeptical.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a believer, right?
No.
Anyways, go check it out when you get a chance. Of course, subscribe to that channel if you can, please. We're trying to get the Shane channel moving. All right, brother. Is it time to talk Strange New Worlds? What else do we have?
This is for Archmage Frey. An actual Stargate hot tub.
What?
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah. I want to be rich.
Good luck.
You want to know why?
You're in the wrong business.
No, not really like to pay bills or whatever, or to be comfortable, or to leave a legacy to my kids. Just like you crap like that. Just so I could be like, you know what? I got some extra space in my backyard. Let's build a Stargate hot tub.
So you can enjoy life a little bit, right? You know, not become just a husk of a human being to leave things to your family.
No, really, just to be frivolous, as frivolous as possible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Instead, now when you get money,
I'm not good with money. I would just waste it. If I had a lot of money, I think it would just be gone. I would buy Stargate hot tub. I would probably turn every archway in my any run through, like when you're going from the living room to the family room or whatever. Every one of those would just be a Stargate portal with working sound effects every time you walk through.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, right now when Brian and I get paid, usually he'll be like, all right, I got paid, and it's gone.
And it's gone.
It's gone.
That South Park meme. Yeah. And it's gone.
Yeah.
Because it is. Immediately. Bills.
We do have a Star Trek Legacy update for you guys real quick before we get into the Strange New World stuff, because we have not, nor will we forget, Stargate Legacy. The petition is now up to almost 60,000. Looking at it yesterday, and it's over 59,000. So it's not almost 60,000, but it's over 59,000 signatures. And we do have a video coming out on Saturday on the Prime channel, which you guys aren't going to want to miss it. It's titled Star Trek Legacy: The Search for Shaw. And it details all of the different ways that Terry Matalas and his team can bring Todd Stashwick back to play Captain Shaw. And what's interesting is it's really funny. I didn't realize this. There was an interview that Terry did, and he basically uses the term, they have a way to bring him back, and it's awesome. And him and Todd talk about it, and when they do, they get chills talking about it together. I mean, come on, dude. When you are digging that, when that happens, like, that means it's really good. And the thing about Terry, and you'll see in the video when we talk about it, everything that comes out of his brain is like science fiction gold. Like, all the conversations we've had with him, it's, about a lot of different things, including his theories and ideas for Star Trek and ideas for different things. His brain's just on a totally different level. It's like always interesting. So whatever way he's going to bring him back. And I'm pretty sure that one of the 11 ways we show you on the video on Saturday will be one of the ways that Terry brings him back. So make sure you guys check that out on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet. Hopefully I can get it done in time.
Well, you have to. One way or the other. So I'm sorry.
So tired. All right. Let's talk about Strange New Worlds, because we did get a little bit of we got screeners. I'm not sure how much we're allowed to say,
We can say that we got them. Yeah.
We got screeners, and we're technically not allowed to talk about it until
Monday.
the 12th, Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, we can't give a review until Monday.
Right.
And so you can't really talk about it as a review. So we're not doing a review of Star Trek Strange New Worlds today. We're absolutely 100% not going to give a review in any way, shape, or form. This is
not a review.
Not a review. Not a review.
Of Stargate, Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Right.
That's not what this is.
Not a review. What we will say is,
I will not be sharing my thoughts about the first episode.
Well, no, you really won't. You really won't. Other than to say, and from my point of view, and I'll just say this is from me, is I think that you're going to like it. I think you'll like it if you're a fan of Strange New Worlds, and you're open to Star Trek being, what's the right word? Present. I guess Star Trek being in current day Star Trek. I don't know what's the best way to put it, because I still feel like some of the lingo is very modern in a way.
So Shane is going that route, and I'm going the other route. I do not think you'll like it.
Really? You don't think the first episode?
No.
Well, I think if you go back and without giving a review, because this is 100% not a review.
Not a review.
Not a review. But if you do go back and you watch, and I suggest everyone listen, if you don't want to be mad next week, go and watch the pilot of Star Trek, the original series. Just go do it. Go do it before Strange New Worlds comes out. And don't watch what Pike's doing. Don't watch what Una's doing. Only watch Spock. Only watch Spock. Watch that and then watch episode 1. And then ask yourself if they handle it properly. How about that? Do you think that's fair?
No.
Well,
it's not so much about his character, and we can't talk about it. So.
Oh, I see.
This is like
not about his character. Okay.
This is like such.
For me, it's always about the character.
I feel like I'm being flicked in the junk right now because I can't say what I want to say.
Well, Monday. So hopefully maybe what we'll do Monday is we'll sneak on. Oh, we have Tom on Monday right now. Constantino.
Tom.
Yeah, maybe we'll sneak on early, or maybe after that we'll do like a little review. I'm not sure. We should do something. We need to do something.
We should turn Raw Rant into Strange New Worlds.
We can't because we got Tom on.
Are we allowed to talk about the first episode or the entire series?
We can talk about whatever we were given, as long as it's not a spoiler.
Right.
Yeah. So
we should give Tom the same stuff too.
What did you just say? No, stop. Brian didn't say anything.
Tom,
we don't give screeners to anyone.
Tom,
ever.
come watch us at my house, Tom.
You were just wrecking us right now, and you don't even know it.
Look, all I'm saying is, oh man, I really want to talk about this, but I can't.
You can't. No, you can't. And I didn't expect that take. All I was going to say was, in my opinion, like if you watch the pilot, I do feel like that's what they're using as their fuel for Spock. So just to say really quick, I said I kind of liked the first episode. Did you like it or not like it?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
You didn't like the first episode. Okay.
Didn't like it.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and talk about that on Monday, but we can talk about, so we haven't seen the whole series, and there is lots of information on Strange New Worlds coming up. Just based on everything we've been given. And I think I gave you a link to one of the articles. I don't know if you have access to it.
Yeah, I'll find it.
But, Strange New Worlds is going to be flashy Star Trek. And I will say 100% that, and for those of you who love Star Trek Discovery, that's great. No problem. I personally am not a fan. I don't love it. I'm watching it, to talk about it with you guys, but I don't love it. And Strange New Worlds is definitely a step up for me. But it is a shinier, new, different Star Trek than the original series or any of the Berman verse Star Treks. Right, Brian?
Yeah.
So it's different. And sometimes it's hard to watch something expecting what you've always had and it feeling different. And this does feel different. So I think if you're open to Star Trek being current, because I would say that Strange New Worlds feels current. Would you agree with that?
You're playing with fire here, bro.
No, I'm not talking about what we've seen. Just everything. Season 1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it feels like a modern, like they updated,
Star
TOS.
Trek's updated, right?
Right,
and it would be fair to say that TNG was updated in the 80s for Star Trek, right?
Sure, yeah.
So if you're okay with Star Trek being updated, then Strange New Worlds is definitely going to be a version of Star Trek in the 2020s, right?
Yeah, all the characters are very attractive. So they really are. Yeah, it has that going for it. They're all very attractive.
No, it's like Costco in the 1990s. I don't know if you guys went. I'm serious. This is kind of funny. Like Costco in the 90s. I worked at Costco in 1991, and they only hired, like, it was the best job in town. Like, I was from a pretty small town, and everybody got paid like $8.75 an hour to start when the minimum wage was like $4.25.
Right, it's like double.
So it was like a huge job. So literally everybody in town wanted to work at Costco, but the only people they hired were like young, hot people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so when the older people would go to Costco, it was just like eye candy for everybody, men, women, the whole 9 yards. And for a good long time, Costco actually, you could just tell they were only hiring good looking people. So, but now I go to Costco today and it's not like that.
Yeah.
There's no more hot people at Costco.
We went to different Costco's when we were younger because the only reason I went to Costco was for free samples.
That's a good reason to go.
I would literally go there on my lunch break. I was working this like horrible sales job where you only got paid when you actually like sold stuff. It was the worst.
God, you only get paid when you actually worked. I totally get it.
Well, you can work like 12 hours a day and make like $30, No, but I used to go there on my lunch break because I was so poor. And I would walk around. I had like a Costco card. I would walk around and just eat free samples during my lunch break.
Dude, you can get full at Costco on samples.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so Strange New Worlds is a lot like my Costco, and there's only attractive, good. Even Joseph Mbenga, he seems more attractive this season. I don't know why that is, but
it's his demeanor.
Yeah, something going on there.
Yeah, it's his demeanor. Yeah, they're all attractive. There's definitely there's plenty of stuff I don't like about Strange New Worlds. And it's more evident now in its second season, but we'll talk about that next week. Yeah,
and just to comment here on New Yorker in Vegas. So basically, you're calling yourself hot. So I guess I get it, right? I just said I worked at the Costco and all they hired was hot people, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me just tell you something. 18-year-old Shane Montgomery was hot as fuck. I'm just letting you guys know.
That's true. He was hot.
Yeah. 50-year-old Shane Montgomery. We've gone downhill a little bit, but we're still here.
Nurse Chapel is tasty. This is true. No Money G. Is it at least coherent? Besides the backtalk and lack of professionalism to the chain of command and characters not acting like the characters. Yes, it is coherent.
Yeah, and thank you for that $10 No Money G.
It's coherent.
Yeah, coherent is the right word. And I was looking for the backtalk and lack of professionalism, and I know we can't really talk about it, but I think we can say that. And it's interesting because I watched the episode thinking, well, Brian's going to love this.
That's funny. I did not.
I did. I thought so because he seems a little more lax on certain things than I am. But it really, I do feel like this felt like it had a little more professionalism than season 1, actually, in the first episode at least. So I don't know. I thought it was trending in the right direction. It'll be interesting on Monday to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is consistent. It's logical for the most part.
I wonder if, it's funny because I don't know why Brian doesn't like it right now. Normally we talk about these things ahead of time, but we're in one of these this is a really interesting situation because normally we know, and then we get on and we can talk about it. Now, neither one of us know really what we think, and we can't talk about it because we're live and we'll get in trouble.
I swear to God, I thought Shane was going to hate this, man, because I'm watching and I'm like, these are things that I know. I normally let things go, but after like the fifth offense, I'm like, all right, come on, bro.
Well, I
was getting annoyed for you. In fact, I think that I ended up not liking it because
You thought I wasn't gonna like it?
Because the more that happened, that was totally. I can't say anything, but
you can't.
But I kept thinking like Shane's not gonna like this, and I started writing notes where I was explaining the various characters, and it was detailed. I went detailed. I talked about every character, why they did that. Oh my God. And wait till you get to episode 2. It like doubles down on it. Yeah, you're going to lose it.
Well, it'll be interesting. In all context, I would like to go back and watch it again. But if we're talking about one character specifically, and I can't say what, and because of the prequel, because of the TOS episode where he is different, I saw that as like them really leaning into that, but maybe it's something else. We'll talk about later.
Are you talking about the Zindi bad guy? Oh, I'm kidding. That's a joke.
What are you talking about? That was messed up, man. You can't do that to Star Trek fans. That's not right. I'm like, no, Zindi. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
this isn't Enterprise.
I gotta be honest though. I feel like they've made plenty over the last, couple seasons. They've made plenty of concessions to Enterprise. They've made it very clear that the Enterprise is in their universe. They've acknowledged it. They've acknowledged Archer and his dog and his crew.
Are you talking about from Picard?
I'm talking about Strange New Worlds.
Oh,
because Strange New Worlds is a lot closer to Enterprise than anything else is.
True.
And they've acknowledged it multiple times. They have the ships. They talk about Archer. Why can't we see some of the aliens from Enterprise in Strange New Worlds? Why can't we see Dr. Phlox's people and Zindi and that kind of thing? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. Like, you are acknowledging an entire show that took place. You're the closest show to that century.
Well, they had Hemmer.
I guess Hemmer. Well, yes, and Hemmer, that species was introduced in Enterprise. You're right.
The Anar. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
If I had hopes and dreams for this season, is that, and I haven't seen the last 4 episodes yet, but
more than that, you haven't seen the last 5. Yeah.
Is it 5? I saw 6. How many are there?
There's only 3. There's only 3 in the thing. You saw 6?
Yeah. There's 6 in the thing.
Really? I only saw 3.
Yeah, scroll over, dude. Come on, man.
Oh, I wasn't scrolling far enough.
There's a scroll button. Yeah, well, I saw 6, and here's the thing. And there's plenty. There's still time, but if I had hopes and dreams, I would hope that we have more connection to Enterprise. Only reason I'm saying that is because Enterprise did talk about the Gorn a lot and other aspects, and you'll see it as you watch it. Other aspects of Enterprise is prevalent this season, but there's no direct connections, And we got the Anar last season, and we got the Gorn last season, which were 2 things that were explored a lot in Enterprise. So let's get Dr. Phlox. Can I get Dr. Phlox? Because people live like thousands of years, right? Let's get Dr. Phlox in here.
Actually, I don't know how long they live.
They live a long time. If they're joined or something like that.
There is a character that lives a long time. I'm not going to say who it is, but there's somebody that does.
That's true. And that was actually a point of contention for me. I was like,
interesting. Well, it's a new alien, I think.
I hate that so much
because I wasn't able to find that alien anywhere. So
no, what's funny? What's funny though? I Googled the same thing you Googled.
Yeah, and
it did autocorrect for me. And so I think that there is a connection out there, but we can't even research it until it gets here. So
yeah, so let's talk about what we can talk about, because everybody out there is going, you know what? I'm really tired of you guys talking about stuff like in code behind my back here. So what we can tell you is that next Thursday, we will be breaking down the first episode. In fact, we will have a video that'll come out, and we'll also do a live review. That's next Thursday. We will come out with some sort of non-spoiler review early next week before the show comes out, so we can actually talk about what we've seen to some degree. But some things we can talk about here is some things that they've talked about that the people have talked about actually themselves. And we are hoping that on Raw Rant, we've been promised by CBS Publicity that we're going to get actors from Strange New Worlds on our Raw Rant show on Mondays.
It's true.
So I was promised hopefully 2 weeks of it. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we at least get one. We'll see who it's going to be. If it were me picking, of course, I want Anson Mount. If we can't get Anson Mount, then I want Ethan Peck. If we can't get Ethan Peck, I want
you're going
Rebecca
the
Romaine.
wrong way, Shane.
Why?
We need to start with T'Pring.
No.
T'Pring first.
You're always thinking with the other head, brother.
No, let's go T'Pring, then Nurse Chapel, then we have them on together.
Okay, yeah. And then you slide a little Spock.
Then we slide a little Spock in there.
And you make a sandwich.
Right. Make a Spock Chapel T'Pring sandwich.
My gosh. Anyways, what I was saying was hopefully, and we'll let you guys know as soon as we figure out who it's going to be. And I'm going to tell them specifically not T'Pring.
No. How dare you? Go. Tell them, chat. Someone
listen,
tell.
No. Hear me tell you why. If we tell them T'Pring, that's exactly who they're going to give us. Okay. And no offense to T'Pring, but she's not in enough episodes.
You haven't seen them all yet.
I'm just saying she's not the main cast. And I asked for principal cast members.
Okay. So that's fine. But I also want T'Pring at some point.
Listen, I understand you want T'Pring in general, just in life itself, but it's not. I'm talking.
Oh yeah, not on the show. Not on the show.
Yeah,
I'm just making a general statement right now.
There's no way they're letting anybody on our show now after this. Thank you. All right. They're watching to see if we can be trusted with any of their assets.
Look, it's not my fault. You make a show with nothing but between 8s and 10s. Everyone, even the random transporter chief looks like he came out of a Abercrombie and Finch, catalog. It's every single even Admiral April, everybody on the show, every single person is
works at Costco.
At least, between an 8 and a 10, they're all just insanely attractive. It's silly. I can't say anything without. I was about to say something that was wrong, but there are parts when you're like, really? That character is that hot? What? But what? I mean, I'm not complaining, but Jesus.
Yeah.
And what's funny is to their credit, the flip side of that are all these TV shows that use nothing but ugly people.
That's true. Got to give them some credit. At least
there are so many TV shows where everyone is ugly, and you're like, I don't get it. Did you? I wonder if they're putting for people that were
They must be using a filter or something. I mean, even Carol Kane's in her 70s, and she looks young.
She does look great.
She looks awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I wasn't gonna say that because everyone got. I know I have that granny thing going on, but
well, I think this one's legitimate. She doesn't look like a granny in this.
Bro,
thing.
Her introduction, I was like, okay. What's going on there?
You disturb me. So it's so hard to even talk to you about this stuff.
Hey, don't come in here right now. I need 5 minutes.
Stop it. You're awful.
Just pause it and shut up.
That's Lotka's wife you're talking about from Taxi. Anyways, but we can talk about some things that
everyone is so. I'm thinking, my mind is cycling through characters. They're all so hot. I can't think of a single ugly character. Can you?
Yes, the new Helms girl.
Oh, I disagree entirely.
Really?
I totally disagree. I think she's hot.
I think you're wrong on that one.
No, obviously it's preference, but
yeah.
I disagree.
It's not my preference.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's one of my preferences. So.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Well, you guys can figure out who that might be because Brian pretty much just gave it away.
It's a
actually
man.
No, he didn't. It's T'Pring. She's the new.
No,
not true.
It's
Not
one
true.
of the Zindi insectoids. I'm like, okay, all
right.
right. I mean,
Well,
6 hands. That
if
could
the
be
wings
fun.
fit, all right. Maybe. Let's talk about some things we can safely talk about for this season.
Okay.
So, Anson Pike and Rebecca Romaine, and by the way, Rebecca just looks fantastic.
Yeah. Everyone is so.
That's why I'm saying there might be a filter or something. I mean, Rebecca was a model, obviously, but
yeah, Rebecca Romaine.
she's older now.
Is classically attractive, though.
Classically, yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it.
Like honestly, you could go back and watch X-Men and tell me I'm wrong.
You know what's difficult? It's like she's hotter than Pike's girlfriend. Like a lot hotter.
She is. In fact, you know what's funny is, oh my God. Okay. I'm so glad you brought it up. The least attractive person is Pike's girlfriend.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Almost. It's close.
No, because listen, I mean,
no offense to that person. It's not her fault. I mean,
right. As far as like levels of personal attraction, I mean, you would have to say, as great as Melissa Navia is, she's not probably as attractive as Pike's.
Well, she also reminds me of my sister. So like, it really that
ain't gonna work.
No, that's not.
Okay. I see. That makes sense. Anyways, can we move on from the hotness here? Or
you brought it up, bro.
That was my fault. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say, because some of the events that break down in episode 1, you start when you watch episode 1, and this is not a review.
It's not
reviewing it.
It's not a review. Not a review.
But when you do watch episode 1, keep in mind that whole attraction thing and like looks when you're looking at the relationship between, say, Rebecca and Pike's girlfriend. Anyways, I'm just saying there could be some jealousy involved. I don't know. Okay, we'll see what happens.
What episode did you watch?
The first one, dude.
Dude, oh my God, Shane, you started on the wrong episode.
No, I didn't. Did I really?
Yes, because I think it's because the way the stupid system works. No offense to whoever created it. But it doesn't scroll up and down. It scrolls left and right. And because I had already scrolled all the way to the right when I watched all of them, you started on the second page.
No, you had already scrolled right. And I clicked on the first one, which was episode 4.
You see, I knew. And so that, okay. Okay. So here, first off, that episode's pretty good.
Okay. So listen, I wasn't wrong. Okay. I have not seen the first episode yet. I've seen 4 and 5 though. So anyways,
it's so
by Monday we will have seen them all.
So there, and you know what's funny is one of my complaints is I feel like it's out of order. I wonder if there's a way to actually like make this a better watching experience.
I got to tell you, episode 4 felt like a good episode 1.
Yes. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
That was my argument when I started watching. I was like,
okay,
why is this the first episode?
Wow, I am so glad you mentioned that, because in my brain I had this. I'm like, why is he freaking out so much? Okay, now we understand why we're on different pages. Okay, good.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
This is actually a funny comment here by John Burns. Thank you, John Burns, for the support. 279. Carol Kane, Special Agent Viagra.
She does look great.
She really does. I was not expecting that. I was expecting my grandma to show up.
And I'm gonna have complaints about the character, but I'm also fascinated about the character. So like, it is definitely for me. My mic level just dropped crazy. Oh my God, sorry.
We're not hearing anything different.
You're not hearing it, but the audience is certainly hearing it.
Oh, okay. Well, just fix it and don't talk about it.
Anyways, like, there's gonna be problems, I'm sure, but like, it is also very fascinating. Like, the show is entertaining, for sure.
All right. Okay. Well, Kenneth LaRoque, thank you for the support. 550 from Kenneth. I see he took back the podcast here. So if you guys want to knock him down, you can. And Ken can always try to keep himself there by fighting back. So there's always that. Yeah. So let's talk about what we can talk about for this. And the fact that these are the words that have come from the people playing in the show. So a couple of things that you can expect for Strange New Worlds is that Anson Mount playing Pike and Rebecca Romijn playing Una, their relationship is going to grow a little bit more. And I don't think in like not in the more like a brother-sister thing more than a, romantic thing. And because Una is actually, we learned that and this is not a review, this is from articles that were put out, is Una is Pike's confidant. Like she's the Spock McCoy for Kirk, like for Pike.
Right.
That's her role in this. And what we learned from some interviews is that they actually envision themselves kind of as like the mom and the dad of the family, of their Enterprise family. So it'll be interesting. That's not really the dichotomy that I want to see in a Star Trek show. It should be, more professional, military-like. But, them being the mom and dad is a lot better than Pike being the older brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem I had with season 1 was it felt like, there's too much cooking and too much, lack of professionalism. And so Pike to me felt like not really like necessarily the guy in charge, but he felt more like a big brother.
No, he felt like the damn what's it called? Galley? What is the position on a ship? Chef. It's called a chef. Mother, really? That's what it's called.
You mean like the official?
I'm sorry. If that's what it's called on like a real Navy ship, it's called the chef.
Mess specialist. If that's what you want.
I was gonna say if it was just called the chef, like. All right, yeah. So he's more like the guy. He plays Riker's character in the last episode of Enterprise more than he plays the captain.
Right, and so
where he's like cooking and talking to everyone, and you're like, all right, well.
So it does seem like he's going to grow into more of a father type role, which would be superior to being the older brother, in my opinion.
Right.
We're going to see a lot more of an open Una in season 2. Now, remember in season 1, she's hiding her identity. She's illegally, she's not supposed to be in Starfleet at all because she's lying about her race or her alien. What do we call it? Race or?
Yeah, it's a race.
Race. She's lying about her race, so she's not supposed to be in Starfleet. And of course, we know at the end of season 1, she gets caught, figured out.
What's the name of her race again? Valerians? No.
Illyrians?
Ethereans? Like,
yeah.
That's the crypto I lost all that money on. Ethereum.
You shouldn't have lost. Well, I guess everybody lost money on it.
Yeah, I lost money on it. No, it's Illyrians.
Yeah, because they're pretty cold people, actually.
Whenever I was using the voice to text to write my notes, it kept replacing it with Valerians.
Oh,
which is weird because isn't that like?
It's fantasy a lot.
That's
Valerians.
Yeah, that's a fantasy thing. Yeah,
science fiction fantasy. So we are going to see her open up more this season. She's going to be more, less reserved, and you're going to get more of who her character really is. So I think that's kind of interesting. They talked about how season 2 has created a better working relationship with the writers. So Mount was talking about the fact that, after doing season 1, the actors now have more control. They know who their characters are. And so they're in that phase now where the writers are coming to them to talk about what they're writing for the characters because the actors understand the characters. Whereas in season 1, the writers are putting it down and the actors have to kind of figure it out. So now there's more of a cohesive kind of working relationship with the writers, which he thinks is making all the characters even better.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Everyone keeps saying it's all about this season taking big swings, genre-wise. So you can expect a lot of different types of episodes this season. So, episode 9, from everything that all of the actors are talking about, is like just out there. That's what they keep saying. It's out there. It was so intensive of an episode that they ended up working weekends to get it done. And that's usually at the end. They don't usually do that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
So that was interesting. There was something else I was going to say about that. Yeah. So, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with genre type stuff as long as they do it like TOS did, where it's gangsters one week, Greek gods, different types of genres, and I'm okay with that. Last season they did it. They did that fantasy episode that one week where the whole ship turned into like a storybook fantasy. So, I mean, if they're doing genres like that and it stays true, then I'm fine with that. So if it's Akiva Goldsman's mantra is Star Trek can be a lot of things. And that's good. And it's also a little scary.
Yeah.
So if it's done like I just mentioned it, then fine. But if Star Trek can be anything, including not Star Trek, then I'm not okay with that. So that's a problem for me.
Yeah, also it gets redundant when like every episode you're talking about race. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or emotions or whatever. Like when like there's one, like what did Discovery do? It was like all about mental health or feelings, right? And like every episode, it's like even doesn't matter if you took giant swings and you did some cool stuff. There was still this underlying constant story that was grating and just really not something you wanted to focus on every episode. If you want to take a swing and have an episode that deals with like a serious problem, that's fine. But when the entire season is the underlying story is about this serious problem, it's exhausting. It's exhausting as a viewer.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. So we'll see what happens there. It just needs to feel like Star Trek. And the episode I saw, which I'm not supposed to talk about, it's not a review. Felt like Star Trek.
Not a review.
I got to tell you, I'm really surprised I didn't see the first one. And we're going to have to talk about that more because it literally picked up from where it left off. Okay.
Yeah. It did that. That's why you're not going to like the first episode. And it's very interesting now. When you were like, yeah, you don't like them, I'm like, huh.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I am now. This is going to be, guys, next week, this is going to be so much fun to talk about.
Yeah. Like when you actually watch the first one, you're going to be like, why these choices?
Oh, all right. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't watch the first one because I might have had a hard time holding my tongue today. So you're doing a really good job of it. Let's talk about some other things that they were allowed. So Mount talks about tremendous support from the network. Now, this is interesting. The network, meaning Paramount and Alex Kurtzman, trusted them to take those big swings. And that's a signal to me that Strange New Worlds is becoming the flagship show for Paramount. With Discovery going into its final season, it's obvious that they're going to take the attention and put it on Strange New Worlds. What does that tell me? It tells me that not only was Discovery, this is very interesting, not only the Discovery went 5 seasons and now they're taking it off the air, it just kind of proves to me that Strange New Worlds got more viewers than Discovery did. Because as a network, if your show is still getting the most viewers, you're going to keep that show going. So it's obvious to me that Strange New Worlds must have overtaken Discovery on people watching the show.
Right.
And that's part of the reason. So now Strange New Worlds has become this flagship show. I would be very curious to see what the numbers look like of Picard season 3 placed against Strange New World season 1. And when it's done, Strange New World season 2. We'll probably never get to know what that answer is because the network's never going to share it with us.
Yeah. Well, to be fair though, we get a little bit of information because, Picard cracked the top 10 of Nielsen. And so if Strange New Worlds doesn't, then we're going to know that Picard did better. Yeah.
Well, we should. If they don't it could be compared to whatever else is on the air. So you can't really necessarily say, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it cracked, but what's it up against? What else? What does make Nielsen? That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So we talked about the mantra. Okay, Akiva Goldsman's mantra. So as long as it's Star Trek, it'll be okay. The Lower Decks crossover episode, if you guys didn't know, it's directed by Jonathan Frakes, who of course played Commander Riker in TNG, Captain Riker in Picard season 3, seasons 1 and 3. Rebecca talked about doing the episodes and saying that it was like ridiculously fun to do the crossover Lower Decks episode. Anson said he didn't think that he's seen any stars ever come in with so much ownership of the material. So like any guest actors, this is like the first time they came in. He said he felt like they had just like ownership over the material. So I mean, there's a confidence there. I mean, Lower Decks has been around since before Strange New Worlds. So maybe they had a feeling of confidence because they've been doing the content for so long.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're also younger and they're more headstrong, and Jack Quaid, that's his name, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He is very like he takes control over what he's doing. Like he's one of those guys who looks sort of wimpy, but he does take charge a lot. You see him in interviews; he's constantly in charge of the interview. Like that is his personality.
Okay, that's cool. Anson goes on to talk about there was a lot of improv from them when they came on the show, which is not typical, I think, when they're doing it, but they did a lot of improv. And Frakes was critical to be the director because they felt like he really needed to massage the two worlds' tones together, because tonally, Lower Decks is way different than Strange New Worlds, right? Lower Decks is slapstick, comedic. Strange New Worlds is fun, dramatic, I guess.
Yeah, dramatic would make sense.
Yeah. So they had to find a way to cross that over. And he was saying he doesn't think anybody but Frakes could have done it, which I thought was interesting. So talking about favorite episodes. So Celia Gooding, who plays Uhura, said her favorite episodes are 9 and 6. I believe episode 9 because it goes way out there. And then episode 6 because I think that episode's going to probably center on her based on the interview that we're looking at here. Melissa Navia's favorite is episode 4, which apparently is the one I watched. And my note for this one was interesting because it says, it means you can expect to see a lot of these characters in this episode. Episode 4 will feature a challenge that Navia and other characters don't think they are up to, but then they get it done. And watching that episode, I don't know. I didn't get that. So if that is episode 4, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, something happens that we can't talk about that is out of the ordinary, but yeah.
Weird.
We can expect to see Uhura will be mourning Hemmer's death, and we get to see Ortega's backstory this season. And we can expect to see Uhura leaning more on the crew than we saw in season 1. Remember, season 1, she wasn't sure how much she could trust people, and she was kind of independent. It looks like this season she'll be leaning on her friends in difficult situations.
Yeah, that tracks.
All right. So that's what I've got for Strange New Worlds, and we'll have to see what happens Monday. Hopefully Monday we can do a non-spoiler review. And then we'll have the official review out next Thursday. Be curious to hear what you guys think of what we talked about today, and what you feel about the show coming up. Are you excited to watch it? Are you concerned? How did you feel about season 1? What do you think, Brian?
I'm just love it or hate it. I'm ready for the adventures of Space Daddy and his crew of runway models. Ready to go.
I didn't hear Star Trek in there anywhere, but okay.
Oh yeah, and Star Trek.
And Star Trek. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Did you freeze?
No, I didn't freeze. No, I got distracted by my wallpaper. It's T'Pring and Spock with
You
with
need
his
to
shirt
stop with that. Anybody else think Brian needs to get laid? I don't know. Like, it seems like the last few weeks have been just really weird.
Shut up! Okay, moving on from my love life.
Well, hopefully we'll have more,
Yeah.
We'll have more on this as we get there. Right now, there's not been, I don't know why Paramount is not letting everybody out to talk. It's been very slow to get people out there. I don't know how much the strike has to do with stuff. I'm not certain, but we have definitely not gotten a lot of information for a show that's going to launch next week.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I'm just being honest here. It's not a good sign when your embargo is that close to your release date.
Well, or it's fear that people are going to give up too much information.
Yeah, normally it's because you don't want, anyone getting turned off, on the show or movie or whatever,
Well, then you just make it Wednesday.
I guess
at least they did give you the whole week.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's talk about aliens.
That it?
Not attractive aliens. Regular aliens.
Oh, name me an attractive alien, please.
T'Pring.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, she's Vulcan.
Yeah.
Name me an attractive alien that doesn't look human.
Any of the Orion slave girls.
But they kind of still look alien. They still look human. I mean, they're just green.
They're humanoid.
Yeah, well, not humanoid, but like, give me one that's like got like 3 arms or 4 eyeballs or something. Anybody?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that doesn't do it for me.
That doesn't do it for you. It's gotta have the human appeal.
Yeah, it's got to look like I can engage in coitus with it without hurting myself, and then I can deem it as attractive or not.
So not Klingon ladies. How about the Duras sisters?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not into Klingon chicks.
You don't do the fangs.
It's the really aggressive forehead ridges that I'm more concerned about. Although the tardigrade had a nice dumper, you gotta admit, a little sway to his action, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. I asked the question now.
Now that I think about it, tardigrade's not bad looking.
Well, xenomorphs. That was a female. All right. Let's talk aliens, shall we? I don't know. Guys, were you not shocked this week? You know what's funny is like the news came out and like nothing happened. Like literally nothing changed. Like this supposedly groundbreaking news comes out and the world just said, "Hey, what's for lunch?" If you guys didn't know,
we're so tainted by horrible nonsense that we're like, hey, yeah, they got spaceships, aliens. Really, like, yeah, we sort of figured. Anyways, Panera?
What would it take?
You want Panera?
Yeah. Listen, what would it take? Seriously, this is a serious question. What would it take for humanity to take this alien thing seriously? Like, what needs to happen? Because we've had like admit, hey, yep, there's things out there by the government, by our government. We've had lots of eyewitness stuff from people high up. We've had some incredible stories. There are sightings. There are video evidence literally every other day of things in the air that is just totally unexplainable. That makes zero sense. What would it take? What do you think, Brian, has to happen for people to believe in aliens?
I just thought it was really funny when Shane was going over the story. If you listen to Shine, the AI Shane, there's a moment where he's talking about the hardened, lifelong, decorated fighter pilots, that are seeing things on a near weekly basis, and no one is alarmed about this. Like the way he says it is really funny because he's a good point. Like these are not like crackheads. These aren't like people that are like that smoke too much weed and was up too late.
Dude, look at
these sky. These are hardened, decorated, veteran fighter pilots that have spent more time in the sky than they've spent in the sack, right? And they're like, yo, there is stuff up here that don't make no sense. And everyone's like, okay, all right, next. And no one's paying attention to this. Like the most evidence that we have of something fishy going on is the guys that are like, hey guys,
there's stuff going on.
There's stuff going on. There's stuff going on. And they're the definition of upstanding testimony. Yes. And no one cares. It's weird.
Wild. You remember that movie Don't Look Up where the asteroid's coming?
Yes, that was great.
On Netflix, and that's
as the one time I found what's that actress's name?
Which one? Meryl Streep?
No, it's in Hunger Games.
Was it the president?
No, the main actress in Hunger Games. Hunger Games.
Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah.
That's the one time I found Jennifer Lawrence not attractive.
What is with this? Everything is gauged
I don't
by
know
attractive or not attractive.
what it was. I think it was like the way. I don't know what it was, but like every moment she was on screen, I was like parts of me were crawling inside my body. Like I couldn't.
It's her recent politics that have gotten to you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That is unfortunate because
her persona
so
in the
attractive.
world has been weird.
Yeah. J-Law.
So that movie was all about, of course, no one believed that the asteroid was coming to destroy the planet.
Right.
And people just kept going about their business and they kept trying, yeah. Nobody really believed it. And the alien thing is kind of similar to that in a lot of ways. So let me just tell you, if you didn't hear, because none of the major news outlets would cover this. I find this interesting. This is super interesting that none of the major news outlets would cover this.
No, Fox covered it.
Well, I'm saying like the big newspapers, none of the.
Oh yeah. Fox, the news, like the TV station, had Nick Pope on.
Yeah. So yeah, on a smaller scale, but I'm talking New York Times. I'm talking Washington Post. I'm talking none of these people around the article. Here's what happened. Former intelligence official David Grush, who led analysis of unexplained anomalous phenomena, UAP vehicles, or UAP things in the sky, within a U.S. Department of Defense agency, has alleged that the U.S. has craft of non-human origin. Not just a craft, several crafts, multiple times. They've been doing it for decades, he says. What did he say? He said they've been basically finding crashed alien vessels and whole alien vessels for decades now, and it's a crash retrieval project. This guy, if you don't know who this guy is, this guy is a former intelligence official, but he served basically as part of the program which the Air Force uses to search for UFOs. He was in that program. I think it was called ATIP before.
There's a program that is that's their entire job.
That's their job. Their job is to search. You figure out what's going on with these UAPs.
How do I get a job like that, man?
Well, you got to join the military, and then you have to, So here's what's interesting. What he claims is this. And now, honestly, the one thing you got to say about this is that he's not seen anything himself. Like, these are all things that have been reported to him by people in said program, people that are high up in the intelligence apparatus that have reported to him that these things are going on, that these things are happening. And he finally got tired of essentially Congress being lied to, and he decided he was going to whistleblow, and he was going to come out with all of this information he has and let Congress know that there's an organization in our government that is not, telling Congress about what's going on with this alien stuff. And now that organization he's talking about, there's no evidence of it. Like, there's no there's that organization, like Area 51. It's not like he said, hey, Area 51's doing it, right? This organization doesn't exist. So like when Congress goes, oh, this organization, what is this organization? Oh, it doesn't exist. So it's completely off the books, right? And this is what he's saying. This is absolutely crazy. So let me tell you why this is interesting news. And just from my perspective, and I'll give you guys my perspective on it, on this whole alien thing. So I served in the Navy from 1993 to basically 2013 or 14. And during my time in the Navy, I didn't have any alien stuff happen to me at all. Nothing. Like, there was no look up in the sky. And I got to tell you, I was on aircraft carriers. I've been to 6 of the 7 continents. I've been everywhere. Never seen anything alien. I want to see something alien, and I tried looking up to see something, but I never did. Lo and behold, come to find out that if you're familiar with the Tic Tac incident, where David Fravor was a pilot in charge of his squadron and saw a Tic Tac basically shaped UFO engaging with something on the ocean on the ocean. Multiple people saw it. Multiple radars saw it. I was in that operating area with that aircraft carrier. So I was on the USS Ronald Reagan, and the Nimitz was the other aircraft carrier, and we were doing workups at that time. I was active duty Navy. So I was there when that happened. Like, it just blows my mind to this day to realize that when that incident was occurring, I was in those waters, but we had no idea what was going on. So I never heard anything about this. And typically, even if something like this had happened, then it would have been highly discouraged to talk about it, because they want people focused on the mission. They don't want people focused on nonsense. And they would have thought of this, especially back in 2005, as nonsense. So that's my perspective. And what I can tell you is that I find it really interesting that the intelligence apparatus and the fact that, I have so many years in the government, and let me be honest with you guys, government is not capable of really huge, in-depth programs.
Yeah.
They're not capable of it.
They're not capable of like forward thinking, really.
Like, the military is made up of a bunch of individuals, a bunch of people who they go and do a job in the military, but then they also go home and they hang out with their family. And on a large scale event, most commands are pretty internal to each other. So whatever happens in your command, you're like all about what's happening in your command, and that's cool. But you don't really have overreach with other commands. You don't really give a shit what's happening to those guys over there, because It's not your mission. And one hand doesn't usually hold the other. So two commands aren't usually talking to each other, right? So if something was created to do like this vehicle recovery program, then, it's got to be on par with like creating the atom bomb back in during World War II.
Also, the people, the support staff that would be required to run that operation would go out of their way. They'd be telling their friends and their family about some alien ship. It would be so hard to keep under wraps.
It would be difficult, and it would have to be like really tightly done. Is it possible? It is. If it's like one entity, it could be done. But I find it is very hard to believe that something like this is going on. Now, my personal belief is that, I do believe that there's something out there. I do. I really do. David Fravor was no joke, man. That guy, he served aboard my aircraft carrier, part of the carrier air group. Straight guy. That it's probably not something you ever want to talk about. It took years for it to come out. I believe every word that man said.
Yeah, stat wise, aliens mathematically can only exist.
If you're talking about other worlds, and like as many planets there are and stuff like that. My theory, and this is only a theory, is that the aliens that are here are stuck here. So I think,
do you think they came from like another planet, a millennium
like a long time ago? Yeah.
So real quick, what he was talking about numbers wise, he was saying that with all the stars, the suns, the planets, the systems in the universe, mathematically there has to be more than just humans, right?
Right.
But a lot of people would argue that even though mathematically that's correct, the aliens have to exist. The odds of them finding us, that exact number that makes it mathematically impossible for them not to exist, also makes it mathematically improbable that they would find us because it's so vast.
Right.
Shane's saying that they got stuck here a millennium ago, and they've been a part of our culture.
Yeah, it's not a part of our culture. No, I don't think they're part of our culture at all. I think that
I found one.
Everybody with Asperger's is an alien.
Look what he said. I'm an alien.
There's evidence. It's Elon. No, but I'll tell you what I believe, and I'm based on no formal evidence whatsoever, just based on, well, the first thing I tell you is I didn't necessarily believe there were aliens or any sort of, I didn't believe it until Fravor came out with his Tic Tac story. I didn't believe it. And then the other pilots on the East Coast that I did all of the workups with, those guys over there, these guys aren't saying anything that's going to make them look like fools. They're just not going to do it.
Right.
So the fact that it's happening. So when you go into this and you look around, there's just too many things happening in the world right now. There's too much. I mean, just the other day, there was evidence of like 12 minutes of this giant V-shaped craft above Camp Pendleton with lights that were seen by military people. And this is the Phoenix Lights thing that's been going on for some time. It looks exactly like that. The same lights. This thing's been reported all over Southern California, and it's the size of like a football field, and it's hovering for 12 minutes.
And everyone's like,
we don't have anything that does that.
They're like, hey, what's that thing? I don't know. You want Panera? Panera?
Right. Well, you know what it reminds me of? Like one of those Avengers airships.
Oh yeah, the
aircraft carriers in the sky.
Oh man, you got me. Hey, go ahead. I'll find it out.
But what I'm saying is that's what it's kind of like. You know how they just kind of like float there. Yeah,
they've got these agents too.
Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of what. Yeah, so that's kind of what it reminds me of. I mean, there's so many sightings of it. And if you guys listen, I don't know if you've gone down the rabbit hole on stuff, but there's crazy stuff. And there's an incident that took place. If nothing else convinces you about the alien thing, in Africa, there was a school where aliens visited a school, right? Reportedly. Let me look this up real quick. I wasn't prepared for it.
Here, I'll show. While you're doing that, I'll show what a helicarrier is. Basically, it's an aircraft carrier, but it's in the sky, man. Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Right. That kind of reminds me of that in a way, because it's just like floating there. And I can promise you, we haven't built anything like that. Okay. Nothing that hovers in the air.
No, that would be massive news. That would be like a leap forward in technology, in like 15 different types of technology for that to happen.
Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
The power requirements alone would be impossible.
Right. Well, some of this alien tech apparently, and we'll talk about that in a second. But so on September 16th, 1994, there was a UFO sighting outside of Zimbabwe. 62 students at the aerial school aged between 6 and 12 said they saw one or more silver craft descend from the sky and land on a field near their school. One or more of the creatures, dressed all in black, then approached the children and telepathically communicated to them a message with an environmental theme, frightening the children and causing them to cry. Now, what's interesting about this is that the skeptics, they've tried to describe it as like a mass hysteria, but the problem is they actually went back and the kids drew pictures of what they had seen.
Yeah.
Right. They took the kids separately. All right. They separated the kids immediately and had them all draw pictures of what they saw. And they all drew something similar. They didn't have time to talk about it. They didn't plan it. They separated them and then they drew it.
These two are like identical.
Now, these are 6-year-old, 7, 8. These are little kids. Okay. In Africa.
Look at this one. This looks like a time machine or something, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's another theory. It could be. Could be time.
Bro,
could be time
that
travel.
looks like a time machine.
I mean, how do you know what a time machine looks like, honestly?
Well, I feel like a time machine would look something like this.
Okay. Also, an alien vessel would look something like that.
Yeah, and there's like Egyptian ankhs over it.
Yeah, that's true. That could have been added as artwork. But, the fact is they all have the same thing. And so these kids are questioned. And anyways, if you've seen the story, it's totally believable. Like, there's no way these kids are lying about this stuff. So anyways, the bottom line is that I do believe that there's something out there, me personally. And it's taken a lot of this evidence in order for me to feel that way. But does that mean that what this guy is saying today is true? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. There's a couple of different things it could be. It could be a counter information campaign. So there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. We are at very interesting odds with China. Imagine if we wanted China to believe that we had access to stuff that they didn't have access to. How would you do that?
We got some alien ships, China.
Right? We've already had all this. we've already had all this reported stuff come out, right?
You will
about
share your
aliens.
alien ships with us.
Right.
White man.
So and I got to tell you, China's scary. China's powerful. They're ready. Like they're preparing to go to war 100%.
Yeah, China don't care.
And it would not surprise me in the least bit if the government decided to do a counter information thing. And this alien thing is a big deal. The guy who's reporting this information, I'm not saying that he's not telling the truth. Okay. Nobody knows, obviously. All I know is he's not giving firsthand information. So everything he's reporting on is what other people have told him that say they're in the program. It's all secondhand information. So, that he would be an ideal target. He's a lieutenant in the military. So he's a junior officer in intelligence. He says he's being told by senior people that this stuff is happening. He's not giving any names because it's secret information. But that is one way to let your adversaries know, don't mess with us. We have alien technology.
Right.
Right. So that's one way it could go.
China.
Huh? Oh, China.
China.
That's one way it could go. It could be something. It could be true. I mean, if you go back to Bob Lazar and you listen to his story, of course, he's the famous guy who whistle blew, I guess, on Area 51, said he worked out there and he went to the local Las Vegas news, told his story. And interestingly, for years, all of the things he said that were about his life, some of those things had been erased. The fact that he worked at Caltech or he worked over in California at one of those places was erased by the government. Come to find out, by people who worked there, and like a yearbook or something like that was there, he was there, right? So he was there, but yet his record had been erased. He had also described like the mechanism that used for checking in at Area 51, like he described it completely. Years later, we would come to find out that is exactly the security thing that he went through, apparatus that Area 51 has. So, and of course, what Bob Lazar said is that he worked on an alien technology. He worked on a spacecraft trying to figure out, what propelled it, because it was an anti-gravity engine.
Yeah, Element 115.
Element 115 is what powered it, and it's something that we couldn't produce or can't produce. And he did, there is some speculation that he had some of it or something like that. There's some video. But, it's come to find out so that some of the things that Bob Lazar said are true. And I got to tell you, this would line up with some of the things he said, because he said that the hangar, I believe, had like 10 or 11 or 12 of these craft, right? And he also said that he was told they were found at like a dig site. They perhaps were as much as 100,000 years old, right? Now that could be counter information as well, but that's the things that Bob Lazar talked about. So, I mean, could it be real? It could. How you keep it secret all this long time? I don't know. You would have to, national security, serious consequences, like sit and tell people like literally, we're going to kill you and your whole family if you tell anybody, something like that. Why would the government not tell us about it? Fear, control, if that's the case. Like, imagine a panic. That's the other thing that this could be. This could be absolutely not true. What's that?
Zimbabwe UFOs.
Oh, those are art renderings.
Yeah, looks cool though.
Yeah, super cool. One of the things that those kids were being told, and this is something we haven't talked about either, one of those things that was being said to those kids, that telepathically, what the kids were being told was that technology is bad. That's what they were being told. And that they were being given visions of technology basically destroying them.
It was like, don't use TikTok. It'll melt your brain. Trust me.
Little did they know back in 94.
Little Blorbic is on TikTok all day and we can't get him off.
Well, it's interesting that would be the message. And that's not the only group there was a group in Australia that got a similar message that they reported. But what's interesting is when did the aliens really start showing up that we were aware of, right? According to all reports, really about the time of, when we started we dropped a couple of atomic bombs and we started creating, explosive atomic weapons, that's when the aliens really started showing up. That's when we start getting a lot of evidence, a lot of reportings of sightings was about the time that happened. And guess where a lot of these reports come from? A lot of the reports come. Listen, if you haven't looked into this stuff, it'll blow your mind at how many nuclear sites have alien UFO reports. Okay, like seriously weird reports from high level people in our country, in Europe, in Russia, where like literally UFOs have come in and have like zapped silos and literally messed with the system. Okay, the reports on this stuff. I'm not making this stuff up. It's out there. The reports of these types of things where like nuclear weapons have been activated and turned off, right, by these UAPs flying over,
right?
Like a laser coming from the UAPs. It's like weird stuff, but you're hearing this from like old base commanders and people who worked at these sites and stuff like that, and from Russia. I'm telling you, it's really very odd that they're all centered around nuclear bases, nuclear activity, and you've got these messages being. What if this is my idea, my personal idea? What if they live here? What if they have? And there's been talk of, aliens living under the water. Ooh. Like you have a lot of the UAPs going underwater.
Atlanteans.
No. Why like Stargate? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I like maybe the stories are true and Atlantis.
Oh, I see.
Did sink, but it didn't sink on on accident.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah, I guess that would be one way. But I think, if you think about it, the ocean is there is less exploration on the ocean than we have on our own moon, right? We know very little about the ocean. It's a place that's hard to get to. It would be very easy for them to be hiding beneath the crust in the ocean or somewhere in the ocean, right? So that's like one of my ideas. Like if they're here on Earth with us, and listen, if they're here and we're like launching nuclear missiles at each other, well, guess what? Their home is now in danger as well, right? If they live here with us.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And they can't leave.
And if they can't leave, right. So if they're stuck here, like if they came from far, far away and came here to this is going to sound crazy, but mess with the human race.
Crazier, you mean?
Right. Crazier. Yeah. Because I mean, you think about it, we sure look an awful lot different than the, than the apes and the creatures that came before us. If you look at like the bones of early mankind, we don't really shape up really well. Makes you wonder if some of the theories about like Inky and Enlil are, and the stuff that happened, a long time ago has something to do with aliens, bioengineering us, right? So, I mean, that's a possibility, right?
That's what it was. That's why I'm so damn handsome.
Well, there you go.
I've been bioengineered.
So if they're here, they don't want us to destroy the planet, right? And maybe that made them become active, and they've been maybe searching I don't know, flying around trying to figure out. There's so many weird types of UFO stuff. I mean, that's just one type, like these crafts. There are also these balls of light out there that like change shape.
Oh yeah,
like seem to have a mind of their own.
Ball lightning now. Not
ball lightning. Not ball lightning. No.
What is this right here? What's going on here?
That looks like a cloud. They must think it's like something in a cloud.
That's the weirdest cloud I've ever seen in my entire life.
Honestly, the photo doesn't look real.
Yeah, but ball lightning's a real thing. It's like charged
I know,
plasma.
But this is not. This is not ball lightning. So if you look into it enough, then you'll. There's been reports of these, basically UFOs or UAPs or whatever, and they're, up in the sky for 20, 30 minutes, floating around and going different directions and zipping from here to there, changing shapes. You've had things about, alien vessels that change shapes, that go from like, one type of craft can shape to another type of craft. Could they be interdimensional beings? Ooh. That's something to think about. Sometimes, could they be from a different dimension and they happen to just kind of overlap with ours from time to time? And that's why they don't interact with us. We can kind of see them, but we don't interact with them. And just when we're about to, they disappear, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, there are different theories. I mean, you got the dark side of the moon, which that never faces us. How weird is it, guys, that the moon is like the exactly correct distance from us, the exact correct shape, the correct, based on us and the sun. Our planet shouldn't have a moon that big. There's so many weird things about the moon that just doesn't make sense. The fact that part of the moon might be hollow, there's just some really weird stuff going on. So
there's Nazis on the moon. I've already figured that out.
No. See, that's even crazy. To me, that's even crazier than aliens.
Yeah, but it's a fun movie. John Burns. Shane view too much. We get Brian's for change. Okay, John. Your wish is my command.
Oh, you want Brian's view? Well, also make sure you add John Burns' other thing here, which was attractive alien doesn't look human. His suggestion is Cheech Marin.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
he looks alien.
Yeah, he does look like an alien. I actually know a guy that looks like Cheech Marin. Like, no, I'm not joking. And it's uncanny. It's really funny. And I always try to get him to do like things involving marijuana, and he's a very staunch religious man, and he doesn't like it, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
From Rec Thoughts. I think the disinterest is by design easier to operate with less scrutiny. Interesting.
It's an interesting thought.
Yeah. The whole Men in Black neuralizer idea, right? But in reverse, make it so people neuralize themselves because they don't care anymore. Thank you, by the way, Rec Thoughts. Jeremy Snyder. Brian is talking about the Drake equation. That I am, sir. It's a mathematical equation that basically says that life has to exist in the universe.
That's right.
And from John Burns. China Z wants peace in Russia, doesn't want war. Yeah, I think that I think Z, or I like to call him lovingly, Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear wants to be partners with Russia because they know that Russia hates us. And I think Russia is, remember that passage from Art of War? You never corner your enemy, because if you corner your enemy, you don't give them a path of escape or surrender, then they'll fight back with the strength of 100 men. The thing with Russia is, if we don't give Putin and Russia an out that allows him to surrender in a way that he doesn't that allows him to keep his power, then he's just going to get crazier and crazier. He's going to end up connecting with Pooh Bear in China, and it's going to be bad for the whole world, which is why we shouldn't be anywhere near Ukraine. Okay, let them figure it out. We're just making it worse. And the reason for that idea, because in the Art of War, it was not about killing your enemy, it was about defeating your enemy. And a surrender is defeat, and surrender is the best defeat, because it allows you to connect to and make peace with your enemy later on. If Russia's our enemy, we are totally playing this wrong right now. We are playing, everything is based on emotion, and nothing is based on the actual stability of the planet. And that's a problem. We need to give him out.
Yeah.
So he doesn't connect with Pooh Bear and start another world war.
Well, and the other problem, China knows that the more Russia forces us to ramp up our military, the harder it makes it on China down the road when we keep boosting up our military.
Right.
So yeah, he wants peace, so we go back to sleep. Put us back to sleep.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. Put us back to sleep.
They want your take on the alien stuff, bruh.
Oh, okay. Technology like the ships in War of the Worlds. So, dude, remind me here. War of the Worlds was the one where they were defeated by like water.
No, that was that was the one with M. Night Shyamalan. That was Signs.
Oh, it was Signs. Okay, that was so stupid. Imagine going to a planet that is literally blue from outer space because it's 77% water, and thinking you're not going to have any issues whatsoever when water is your kryptonite.
Well, they were trying to take over. Well, I mean, if you just don't go to the ocean, I guess you don't got a problem. They were trying to terraform their planet.
I'd be like Superman going to a planet made of kryptonite and thinking he's going to be able to take over.
What if only part of the planet was kryptonite?
I don't know, man. It just seemed like it was a bad idea.
All right.
M. Night Shyamalan he's had some good movies and some really cool ideas, but often I think that he just thinks he's too smart.
He came out with Sixth Sense, which was like groundbreaking.
Yeah, great
storytelling.
Except for you can't watch it twice.
You can't even watch it once if somebody tells you the answer before you get there.
That's one of those movies that you can just like. You want me to ruin this for you? I'm gonna ruin it for you. Ready?
Yeah. But Signs was actually a pretty good movie because you don't get to see the alien, and he does a good job of hiding it from you. So I enjoyed Signs. But yeah, we should get your take because John doesn't want to hear me talk anymore. So we want to hear your take on the alien thing. Well, you have not given your opinion.
Well, my opinion is that aliens have to exist in the universe. I don't think they've actually been here though.
Okay, so you would say they're not here. Go ahead.
No.
Come on, give us more.
No, I don't think aliens are here. I don't think aliens. I think the odds, mathematically, the odds of finding our little blue rock in the vastness of space would be extreme, even with the fact that we keep sending like radio transmissions out to the space. By the way, why are we doing that? Like, the search for life. Okay, anything that is able to backtrack that signal to us is going to be so much stronger than us on every level that we will only be in a position of weakness. Why would you attract attention to ourselves when we are not done leveling up? Like, we're still killing boars in the forest, guys. We're still grinding out levels. It's not. We are not able.
We're not ready for the dragon.
We're not ready for the PvP arena. Okay, we're not ready for it yet. We are not ready for the raid boss that is whatever alien life force can find us in the vastness of space.
Wait. Okay. So Commander David Fravor sees this TikTok vessel, this UFO, and it travels about, I think it's 20,000 miles an hour, 50,000 miles an hour from one point to another, several hundred miles away. What did he see?
I think you were actually onto something.
Okay.
I think that there was a separate species that evolved alongside mankind, and they live in the ocean, and we haven't found them yet. So
they're not alien. So wait, are they aliens or not aliens?
I think they're from the very first cycle of this planet.
Oh, so you think that they were from Earth originally, and they've just technologically okay?
Think like Solarians, like I don't want to say it, lizard people, right? I mean, okay, so that gets a bad rap. Think about that.
That's a thing, though.
Okay, so the best way to completely disregard a theory is to make it a joke.
Right, of course. But lizard people is tough.
Well, so this is my idea. I think that there is, maybe not lizard people, but like think different biology than we have.
Okay.
Right? So maybe reptilians or sauropods or some kind of
little green men. I mean, all the aliens that people draw look the same. That's similar. That's true.
They
look like slee stacks, kind of.
That's true, but the thing about that is that it's become so. How much of this is like when how do I explain this? When you go to court, for a crime, you have your right to be heard by a jury of your peers. But there are people that are so famous that you can never get a jury that isn't tainted because everyone knows who Donald Trump is or whatever, right?
Right.
Everyone has seen the little green men thing. Okay. It's on signs, it's on official documents, it's a clip art, it's the most like when you think aliens, the very first thing that comes to your mind is the little green men with the big giant heads and the shape, those unique shaped eyes.
Right.
So
they had to come from somewhere, though.
Well, but so when you see something like, let's say you see something actually phenomenal and you can't figure out what it is, I think your brain is going to fill in the details with what it already knows. And when everybody equates aliens to these little green men, you might fill in some of the details. That's why I like the way Stargate handled the Asgard. Like they made the Asgard the little green men.
Yeah,
the Greys.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
That was really ingenious. Okay, so there was an episode of Doctor Who. It's called Doctor Who and the Silurians, and it's actually really awesome.
It's a good episode.
And the reason I like it so much is that it actually makes a lot of sense. A lot of Doctor Who makes no sense. Let's be real.
That actually made sense, that there was the people who, so the people who evolved from dinosaurs. And
right,
then
they evolved from reptiles,
came.
some kind of reptiles, right. No, so what they didn't leave out is the reason why they went underground or went to the ocean. So on the same note, let's call them Solarians. I don't know what species they're from. I don't know what their ancestors are. If our ancestors are mammals, let's say their ancestors are reptiles, right?
Okay.
And there's a lot of reptiles that also are aquatic, where they can be on land and on water. Now, let's say the Ice Age happens, right?
Yeah.
The Ice Age is deadly to cold-blooded species, and if they were evolved from like a reptilian ancestor, then that'd be extinction. Mm. So think about this: what if they were near our level of technology at the time, and the Ice Age started to happen, and they started to move underground, get closer to the core where it's warm, right?
Okay.
Or maybe even a mixture of underground and water, so they had access to water, so they can grow their. So they started to move everything underground slowly over a period of 1,000 years, because that's how long it took for the thing to happen. Now, think about this: the civilization that they came from. You know what you're saying? Why don't we have traces of it? Because it has been so much time that nothing can last that long. I don't care. The biggest rock structure, like the most technology, like, there's no way. There's going to be small, tiny things we can probably find that are encased at the bottom of the ocean, in steel. But the majority of what we could find would be, unmistakably not. You could not mistake it as actually civilization. It would just be random, because the longer time and the Earth's weather and
recycling process.
It just beats down anything that is made by intelligence. There'd be no evidence of it. Plus, there's been mud floods since then, massive floods on every continent of the world. This is a proven fact. There's entire civilizations that that is here in the amount of time that we could observe, but because of weather phenomena, they've been completely obliterated.
Well, and plastic, 500 years to decompose. That's not very long.
That's not very long, right? So let's say they're on our level. The Ice Age starts to happen. It's getting colder. They got to move, because a warm-blooded mammal can survive cold, but what happens in Florida when it gets too cold? Iguanas literally fall out of the trees. Like they completely become immobile at 55 degrees, and they just fall out of trees. It's raining iguanas, right? So starts to get cold. They start moving closer and closer to the core. Now, after an eon, and their civilization is now grown that way, they can't come to the surface. The planet starts to warm up. It's completely different. Maybe they start coming up here. Their technology would be way more advanced now than it was at that time. It'd be 3 times, 500 times more than what ours are. They start coming up, and the monkeys have taken over. Literally, the mammals are now
violent. You're talking about the early hominins.
We are now the dominant species, and we're like playing with in the Bronze Age, and we're fighting wars, and we mate a lot faster. And think about this: mammals, right, often in most of the reptilian species, very unique circumstances have to take place for them to be able to create offspring. I bet you we probably breed faster than they do, right? Which would also mean that we probably live less time, but it doesn't matter. That means that we'll be able to take over the planet faster. So now the monkeys are in charge. The mammals, the things that evolved from mammals are in charge of the earth. We're a little warlike. We are constantly fighting with each other. We've expanded so far, so quickly that it would only be dangerous for them to try to come back and assert their dominance. So they just ride it out. And they evolve alongside of us, but they got the upper hand of being 300 times. They're starting way sooner, right?
Right.
So now the monkeys have evolved to the point where we figure out how to harness the atom, and we're like, let's start blowing stuff up, because that's what we do. What is it that we do? We discover a new technology and we go, how do we blow it up? How do we use it as a weapon?
Yep.
Right? Not unlimited power for the whole world, not some beautiful thing that will unite the planet, but no, how do we use it to kill people? Because even though we are so much more evolved than our Bronze Age brethren, let's face it, we're the same exact people. We're just a few levels higher. So we have the ability to kill with much more efficiency and more at a time. So we start doing tests, right? Test that's going to damage their world.
Okay.
It's going to damage the earth that they have to share, the underground, the ocean.
The oceans. Yep.
We are dumping plastic, and I've talked about this 100 times. It's so frustrating to me. I know most people don't care about this, but like, if you actually go when next time you want to you have after you watch the next podcast video, search the plastic island, and the amount of the millions of tons of waste that we are pouring in the ocean, and then do this search. How does the majority of the planet eat? Without the ocean, at least a third of everyone alive would starve to death. At least a third. We need the ocean, and we are just pouring crap into it. It's not good. Anyways, so we got this going on. We're blowing up nuclear bombs. We're doing tests underground. Like, we actually remember we did that one nuke test where it was like deep underground.
We did. Oh yeah.
We
used to do a lot that way.
If you live underground, that has got to be terrifying.
It's a problem. Yeah. So
they come on the ocean, they're UAPs, and they're trying to warn people, stop doing nuclear tests. And maybe they start to guide humanity a bit. No more world wars. Hey, put your nukes away, boys.
Why not just sit down on the grass and be like, we need to talk?
Because we're still monkeys, bro.
I mean, that's okay. But they obviously are able to watch us, and obviously, so they think that we would just attack them.
I mean, consider this. Shane, look at me in my face.
Yeah. That's the only way I can look at you.
What if you told President Biden and Xi Jinping, Pooh Bear, and Emperor Putin, what if you told them that under the ground in Russia, China, and the United States is a civilization with more technology than we have? What would be the very first reaction for these dummies?
Well, no, I know what you're saying, but
Fear.
I'm just saying if
Fear.
Now, of course, if
Strike
they secretly came out and were like, boom, right? But if they've been on Earth this long, then they know that basically, if aliens came and like landed and said, hey, we come in peace, we want to like help make this world a better place, the bulk of humanity would be down for that, right?
Yeah, but
they would.
But the bulk of humanity is not actually in charge. We've had this discussion before.
Well, not this discussion. We've never had this discussion.
I mean, when we had a similar discussion, and the fact that like, even if the majority of us would be like cool with let's call them Solarians, right? And we'd be like, yeah, let's learn from Solarians because we are evolved and educated, and we're not going to look at you because you look different or whatever. Let's say this extremely attractive MILF. Let's say this extremely hot
She's
Solarian.
green. I get it.
Let's say she comes up and she's like, "We have to talk. You guys are gonna blow up the planet. We all have to live here, you dummies, right?"
Mm-hmm.
What if that happened? Yeah, we're up for it. But we are the 99.99%, and we aren't actually in charge. And because the powers that be have spent so much time amassing power, and the politicians have amassing the power and their wealth and their way of life, they're going to completely push back against anyone trying to adjust the status quo, right? So, what is the best way to influence humanity so we don't blow ourselves up and then by proxy? Start slowly modifying the culture. Make changes. Inject people in places of power. Start changing if they were smart, I'm not even as smart as I think they would be. And what I would do is to slowly work the levels of society to my favor until I could actually reveal myself. And it would take a long time, but they live longer than us, so it would probably be not a big deal for them.
It's really weird because a lot of times they don't seem to be aware that anyone's looking at them. Like a lot of these crafts, they aren't like reacting to what people are doing down below. They're just flying over, or they don't seem to be, you know what I mean? It's a very odd situation. I mean, whatever's going on out there, something's going on. And unfortunately, it does seem really strange that we don't have any irrefutable evidence with as many cameras and devices and things that we have to record nowadays. It is very strange that there's not some sort of refutable evidence.
Yeah, every piece of look at this jaw-dropping evidence. It looks like it was taken from a camera phone from 1992.
Right, and not some blurry, but actually something that you look at it and go, "Holy crap!" There's just really nothing like that. And I think until that happens, we were talking about earlier, what would it take for humanity to be on board? I think something like that needs to happen. There needs to be some sort of that's an alien ship, and there it is. And, I think people need to see something with their own
and
eyes.
the thing is, everyone is walking around with a, not an actual supercomputer, but basically a high-powered computer and a high-definition 4K camera in their pockets.
Right.
Everyone. My kids have it. Everyone has it now.
But most of the sightings are at night, and you can't take pictures of the sky at night.
But that's not true either. Every new camera in the last 5 or 6 years has night mode where you can actually...
Tomorrow you go and take a picture of the moon.
Okay.
Go for it. It won't turn out well. They don't turn out good.
There's a lot,
it's blurry,
but we have so much technology now. Look, you can actually
I'm just saying, like night evidence is difficult to get, and most of this seems to happen at that time, under the cover of darkness.
Yeah, dude. Look at this. This was shot. I actually can't believe this. This is too much. You can't.
Well, let's see it. Share it.
Wow.
Can you share it so we can all see it?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure it's not BS before I share it.
Well, who cares if it's BS? You don't get to decide and let us know, but show us.
Look at this. According to Atlantic, how to actually take a good picture of
Oh, I thought you were looking up an alien thing.
No. No,
You're looking up the moon.
With iPhones back in 2016, you were able to get this kind of detail.
I mean, nobody has. I've taken a picture of the moon and it doesn't look right. So, I guess if I went in and figured out the settings and I made it just perfect, yeah, there's a way to shoot it, but nobody knows how to do that. You pick up your phone, you shoot it, and that's what you do. Nobody's like Ansel Adams with their cell phone. You know what I mean? Especially somebody who happens to quickly see a UFO, out of the corner of their eye.
Oh, all I'm saying is that we have enough. Everyone is walking around with high-powered cameras and computers, and I feel like there should be a lot more evidence by now.
Or some evidence, like some actual really good evidence.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole thing about, like, it actually makes sense that we would have less evidence if the ships were coming out of the ocean or the ground somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Because
well, look at
what is everyone always saying? Look to the stars.
Well, no, there's a lot of stuff happening up there too, because I mean, if you look at a lot of the NASA camera footage, right, where you can watch NASA stuff 24 hours a day, right, from the space station or whatever, you see lights moving in all kinds of weird directions that against counter to gravity, and they don't know what it is. You know, there's lots of video evidence of that.
But it would make sense that you can hide a lot longer if you weren't coming from the space. If you were coming from, because no one is looking, no one is pointing their telescope at the ocean.
Well, and there's tons of people in ships, in little tiny fishing boats that have reported, you know, these crafts going into the water. And what's interesting is like not making a splash. Like they go into the water and it doesn't change the water at all. They just pass through it as if they were still floating through air, which is strange. Anyways, there's tons of these types of things.
Yeah, you know what's funny is if you recall, the puddle jumpers with their shield on can do the same thing, but with the shield off, it would splash. Remember?
Puddle jumpers?
Yeah, in Stargate.
Oh, Stargate. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so the Earth is 71% ocean, water. And the Earth is big, guys. So, like, the best place to hide on Earth would be the ocean. So when Shane gets in trouble for pirating Strange New Worlds, that's where you should go, Shane, the ocean.
But is there a base for me or something? Is there like, am I going to have oxygen? What's up?
Let me go figure something out.
Anyways, guys,
and you know
our aliens.
So you know what we should do legitimately? If I had the money, I would do a YouTube video where I went and built a cabin on the plastic island floating in the middle of the Atlantic.
I don't know if you can. I don't think it's that.
I've seen people walking on it.
Really?
Yeah, you know, I've shown this enough. I need to just show you. I've talked about this so many times. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Island. Yeah, I do see. I don't see people on it, but I see pictures. Oh, there's somebody on it. Yeah, what is that? Oh, well, that's not in the middle of the ocean.
That's not.
Some of the ones where I see people walking, I don't think they're in the middle of the ocean. There is like what looks like a trash heap near the water.
So this is the. It's literally an island made of plastic the size of Texas, bro.
Yeah, I don't think you can walk across it. I think it's
that Great Pacific Garbage Patch right in the middle.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh my God, it's huge. You can see it from space. Well, you know what I would do?
Wait, no, that's not a satellite image.
Yeah. So what I would do is, oh my God, this is so big. So I would actually go and like create a cabin that floats on its own in the middle of Trash Island, and then I would declare Trash Island Popcast Island.
Nice. Yeah, the Chinese have been doing that for years.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't they make their own?
They just build their own islands.
They
say, "Oh, we're bigger now."
That is crazy. China's like, yeah. So remember, man, remember when we were this big? Now we're this big.
Well, they're trying to control shipping lanes.
Right. So they build out so that because there's a certain amount of coast that still belongs to you, right? So the farther you build out, the more of the water.
Oh no, they're not building out. They would go out and make an island in the middle of the ocean.
Oh my God.
They're not building it. No, they would go out and like build a man-made island.
Oh my God, you're right. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yep, and they've put airstrips on them.
Wow.
Yep, and then they can claim more waterways. Oh yeah, it's a thing, dude. They're trying to. They've been doing that for a long time, trying to make sure that we can't project our power closer to their mainland.
Whoa, that is wild, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
You think China's preparing, bro?
Oh yeah, China.
So-
China's slowly taking over everything, and they're
So
they're
they
not
don't
doing
want
they're
us
not
to
doing
be-
it with guns, bro. They're doing it with they're just buying everything.
I love that South Park episode where they're like, "We not do nothing, right?
We not do nothing.
Go back to sleep."
Remember that episode about the toilet paper in the bidet,
Yeah.
where he's like, that was so great. He was like, my dad is right, and he got shot for standing up against big toilet paper. He's like, hey, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I remember
But
that.
dad like, no, they just shot me, bro. No, we're not doing this. Everybody, toilet paper is better. It's the greatest thing ever. I love that line. Randy is like, the reason why everyone likes Randy from South Park is because most people are Randy.
Yeah, of course. Randy's the audience.
Like, I'm Randy. Like, 100% I'm
Yeah.
Randy. I'm not any of the kids. I'm Randy.
Right. Yeah. You're growing weed and, speaking your mind.
Bro, no, can't talk about that on air.
Kenneth LaRoque has a super chat here for $2.20. What about Mars's moons?
Oh, we meant, wait. I was going to go down the list. We missed John Burns, too, because he...
I know I didn't miss it. I just thought his would be more applicable.
Oh, okay.
Later.
Let me go find that, because now you're messing my thing up here. What about Mars moons? Okay, so Mars does have moons, right?
They do. Yeah.
Mars is actually pretty small in comparison to Earth. Isn't that correct?
It's smaller than Earth. Yeah.
A lot of people think Mars is bigger than Earth, but Mars is actually much smaller than Earth.
Yeah. And see, the size of their moons are actually small. So they've got Phobos and Deimos, and their moons are actually pretty darn small. Our moon's like a third of the size of our planet. So
Right.
the size and is kind of contrary to the way it should be, if that's what Ken's talking about. Is what about, because all of the planets, I believe, except Mercury, have moons.
Yeah, look at this size comparison, right? And then just be shocked. Earth, Moon, Mars.
Yeah,
Like
I guess it's not a quarter.
What?
No, go ahead.
Like Mars isn't even like Mars is like it's bigger than the Moon, but not by much.
Yeah, it's not a huge planet.
Yeah, it's not a big planet.
But
So
it used to have water on it.
right, so the moons that could now what happened to the water? It froze or it evaporated?
It evaporated, I
Because
believe.
it's farther
Yeah.
away, right?
They lost it. It lost its atmosphere.
So it lost its atmosphere, and whatever was left underneath probably froze because it's farther away from the sun. So in order to terraform Mars, and I'm sorry, it's more evidence that Elon Musk is an alien. Elon Musk said we shouldn't be nuking Earth, we should be nuking Mars.
Well, for the atmosphere, yeah.
Right. To
terraform it.
to kickstart the
Your greenhouse
gases.
effect.
Greenhouse
essentially.
effect, right.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's the Mars.
What if
moons.
what if it came out in like 50 years that Elon Musk was a lizard the entire time?
Just whatever, dude. Just
I mean, what if that happened though? Like,
okay, what if it happened? We'd be like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
yeah, we'd be like, yeah, it makes
Now, what's for lunch?
a lot of sense. You want Panera? Let's get Panera.
So Kenneth, about these moons is our moon is sphere shaped, and of course Phobos and Deimos are not. They look more like large asteroids.
That's really they're asteroids. I think they're only given
captured.
the moon category because they're rotating Earth, the Mars.
Well, I mean,
right?
yeah, anything that's going around you is a moon.
Is it though, or is those natural satellites? Because isn't that the definition of a satellite?
Yeah, anything that orbits you is a satellite.
Right. So how are what is the difference between a moon and a satellite?
The Earth has a new satellite. I think moon is just another word for satellite.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so Earth has a new satellite. Did you know that?
No, I don't like that. Is that real?
Yeah.
We just got a new one.
Well, we've had it for a while, actually.
It's
a quasi moon. It's a quasi moon. It's been discovered near Earth, has been traveling alongside our planet since 100 BC.
What?
Yeah. Astronomers recently identified asteroid 2023 FW13 as a quasi-moon, a space rock orbiting the sun nearly in tandem with Earth. Scientists recently discovered an asteroid that tags along with Earth during its yearly journey around the sun.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's 100% something.
You think it's like alien craft?
I think it's something. I think it's something that we're gonna discover is like important.
Maybe it's like an ancient alien coffin that's just been orbiting.
Yeah. Or what if it's the remains of the previous civilization when they tried to take off?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it's just filled with like lithium, and we need that. A big problem with the advancement of battery technology is the scarcity of lithium. Imagine if we found an asteroid that's just hyper rich in lithium. Dude, our technology would triple in a year if we found that much lithium.
See, we have a lot of lithium on our planet.
Oh, well, we can't get to it then. We're having a hard time.
Yeah, it's because it's located. Yeah, it's funny. More than half of the estimated global lithium resources are located in the salt flats of Bolivia. Invest into South American mining.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Let me tell you something. Your iPhone, your Android, your computer, everything, and even most cars now, all require lithium. They all require lithium. Without lithium, we don't have high capacity power storage. So, pretty soon, that's going to be the next gold rush is going to be lithium.
And it's in Chile.
I wish I had enough money to actually capitalize on that knowledge, but I do not.
Yeah. So what are we talking about here? Oh, so we did Kenneth Mars Moons. John Burns for $279. I prefer the Matt Frewer alien. Future Tech wants money. Matt Frewer alien.
I'll look it up. Matt Frewer.
Frewer.
Look at that cool. Look at this cool image right here. Cool image.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Artist rendering. Look out, dinosaurs!
Look out, look out, Solarians!
I got to tell you, it's a terrible movie. 65 million. It was terrible. Terrible movie.
What movie was that?
So bad. 65 million. It's a terrible movie.
Oh, Max. He's talking about. I think he's talking about Max Headroom.
Oh, okay.
65 million. I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, it was a terrible movie. Great actor in terrible movie.
Wait. Is that Adam Driver? It was just called 65.
I think it was 65 million.
No,
right?
it was just called 65, and that is a stupid title for a movie.
Yeah.
Like, why would you look? Why would the title of your movie just be a number? Like, the title has to tell the audience something about what they're planning on what they're seeing.
Yeah, you have to be. Sometimes you're a little too clever for your own good.
Really,
I think they were a little too clever. But the problem is even if they had a cool title, people would have gone and said, "This is dumb." How can you have a movie where people show up on Earth, like when the dinosaurs are about to go extinct, but yet humanity isn't created by the people who are there? Come on.
Wait a minute. What is that called? It's called the something event. When the dinosaurs were destroyed, it's called the. Oh my god.
You're talking the something event?
Yeah, they actually call it something.
Oh, you're talking about the life-ending event or something? The ELA or
yeah, I forgot what it was called. There's an actual word for it. And I'll figure out what it is at some point.
For the event? Oh, you're talking about
the KT event.
Oh, the KT event, yeah.
So this movie is about them going back to the KT event?
No, they exist at that time. So they're not going back to it. No, this is just humanoids in our solar system who got off course, got into an accident, like hit an asteroid field and ended up crash landing on Earth 65 million years ago.
I'm sorry. And they didn't have any connection to humanity?
And it had no connection to humanity.
Well, that's just stupid. that is really that there was no like clever.
Yeah, exactly. There was no clever human DNA got left here, blah blah blah. Yeah, didn't happen.
That is stupid.
Right?
That is stupid.
You got to have that. I mean, I was like waiting for that moment to happen. I would have been like, oh, okay, it's a C- movie. I'll make it a C if they do that.
Yeah. Also, why is everyone in the cast? I don't get it. They all have that same Zoomer look. It's just so unattractive, dude.
The cast was only 2 people. It was a little girl, and Adam Driver.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a lot of people in this cast.
They must have been like, 5 seconds at the beginning.
I'm also so tired of that little girl. She shows up in everything. Her and that redheaded African American lady from Willow. She's in everything that I don't like. All the time. Never like I can't escape her. I can't escape her. She's like everywhere.
Can't escape her.
Oh, so on that news, did you watch How to Train a Dragon?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Do you like that movie?
It's okay.
I don't mind it. It's
I don't hate it, but it wasn't like fantastic or anything.
For me, it was like my kids like it, and it's not horrible. It's not. That's as a father, like that's what I can get out of it. Whatever, right?
Just don't be bad.
Yeah. So they announced a live action How to Train Your Dragon, which to me sounded really cool. Live action How to Train Your Dragon? That sounds
They just
rad.
have to stop with the live action stuff. They have to. It's never successful. Never.
How can it be successful when you race swap all your characters and announce it with your announcement?
Even if you didn't race swap all your characters, it's like the story's already been done. Like you're just retelling it. It's like making a cover. It's like when another band covers another song. Most of the time it's like, okay.
Right.
That's
true.
It's true. I mean, it's like you're not getting a new movie. You're just making it with real people. And like, honestly, I haven't seen an instance yet where it was as good as the animated movie. Have you seen any?
I sort of like Beauty and the Beast. I thought that was good.
Okay. But
Emma Watts looks exactly like what I think Belle would look like. All the music everything was good. That movie was a good movie.
But it didn't like raise or elevate the cartoon anyway. It's just another version of the same story.
I just saw this chat. I can't pull it up because I'm doing the supers right now, but actually maybe I can. I don't want to lose my place for supers. But did you guys see John Campion's rant about How to Train Your Dragon? Yes, I did. I saw it right before the show when I was waiting for Shane.
Oh, is that why you brought it up?
Well, I wasn't even going to talk about Campia, but Campia went on a can only be defined as career ending rant. He told people to unsubscribe from his channel. He called them all woke bros who want to jizz them on their own faces. And
their own faces, not other people's faces. Interesting.
Right. And he was like, oh, he went on. I mean, I'm serious. Like this was such a bad idea. I don't know why he would do this. It was not a good idea. Here, let me show you guys.
Hey guys, John here on a beautiful night in Southern California, and
he like looks angry right away. He's like, "Hey guys,"
he looks in pain.
John here on a beautiful summer night in Southern California. Like John, like dude, take a Prozac, dude. Like relax. You're too high strung. This is YouTube.
I'm just out here kind of doing my
normal
evening routine, doing a little bit of exist. If the pigmentation of her skin is things, do me a favor.
Here we
you
go.
Racist pieces of shit.
Yeah, right here.
And go and find one of your echo chamber websites where you can all stand around and jerk each other off while you tilt your head back.
He's making the hand motion. He's making the hand motion.
You can come on each other's faces and tell each other that come on your face.
John's losing his mind.
Cleanses you of wokeness. Yeah, tell yourself.
Trying to destroy his own career.
This guy is losing it. I don't know what I don't know what, like, is there something in the water? Is his John? Is your wife poisoning you slowly with like just a little bit of
rat poison.
Rat poison. What's cyanide or whatever? What's that stuff that used to make people crazy in small pieces? Alkaline or whatever.
It was. I think you had it right. It was powder, a white powder.
Yeah, it was a white powder, and like people would just like sort of drop it in their drinks. Over time, sugar. They would lose their minds.
Yeah, I think it's just rat poison.
Yeah. Well, John, someone's poisoning you, dude. Like someone's poisoning you. It's so weird to go live from your phone in your backyard and just yell at your entire audience and tell them to unsubscribe.
Is that what he did?
That's what he did. And then he called them woke bros and said that they wanted to come on each other's faces. And
wait, is he talking about his own audience or is he talking about the people who made Train Dragon?
No, he's talking about his own audience because there were people in the comments of his video about How to Train Your Dragon complaining about the race swapping. He's like, "Oh, you racist pieces of..."
Oh my God, I gotta watch this. See, I wish I could hear this stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. It is undeniably the stupidest thing you can do when you're trying to build a channel or have a job.
Maybe tomorrow's Palantir show will be all about how John Campea is trying to destroy himself.
Absolutely. You should do that.
There's tons of information on it.
There's so much. Someone sent me on Twitter, a 10-minute supercut of him just losing his mind over the last 8 months.
Oh my God.
Just yelling at his fans and
he's trying to get fired or something. I don't know. I hear his wife is doing really well.
Trying to get fired? He is his own boss.
What I'm saying is he doesn't want to be judged. Maybe he's how when you're about to leave the person you love and you're going to go away for a period of time, you guys tend to fight to make it's natural for human beings to do this. Like when I was going to deploy, I would always be a little angry, and it's almost, I don't know why it seems dumb, but when you're going to be apart from somebody, you tend to fight a little bit. So it makes it easier to separate, right? Emotionally. I wonder if, I'm telling you, it's a thing. You can look it up. I wonder if John is trying to basically emotionally separate himself from being on YouTube because his wife is doing so good financially.
No, I think that he is. I think he has fully succumbed to, or succumb. And I'm saying the right word, succumb.
I don't know, but the way you said it sounded really dirty. So I don't.
I think
it's he finally succumbed. I'm like, what? It's not 2 words. Brian.
Succumbed.
You said suck and come all at the same time.
I feel like he's fully. His body is now riddled with the cancer that is TDS. TDS has now fully taken over John Campea's body, and there's no amount of Tucker Carlson radiation that can cure this disease. He is completely and entirely bought in on that methodology, and now he's becoming a white knight to protect his sacred agenda or something. I don't know.
All right. Fair enough.
And let me tell you something, bro. In the words of Ben Stiller, never go full. And I can't say the word, or YouTube will remove me. But never go full.
Retard?
Can't say that word, bro, on YouTube.
I just said it.
Oh, all right. So right,
what you gonna do about it, YouTube?
You finish it. You finish it for me. Never go full.
Retard.
Yeah, never go full anything. Here's some advice for you. And I'm still relatively young, and I don't got anything figured out. But I'll tell you this: never fully go one way or the other. There's always a little truth in the lie. There's always a little bit of lie in the truth. There's always a little bit of white in the black. The yin yang is the perfect analogy for the way life works. Listen, fall back when you start to go nuts on some crazy topic and you're on Twitter just screaming about Xi Jinping, China. Take a second and just reset before you type your next rage-filled post. That's all I'm saying. Never go full
anything.
Okay,
let's get some of these other super chats because
John Burns says you can't watch Empire Strikes knowing Darth is the dad. I disagree. But maybe because I'm a big fan of Empire Strikes Back.
Well, you can't watch it now that you know, or
Well, I think he's like
at the time
referring to I can't watch The Sixth Sense now. It's not. It's not to me. It's no longer a good movie.
Yeah, the thing about Empire Strikes Back that I like, honestly, is the fight on Hoth. I love the whole ice planet fight. I love the AT-AT walkers or ATSTs, or no, it's AT-ATs. And I love that whole, I love all that stuff. So yeah, I can watch Empire all the time.
Yeah.
Love his time with Yoda. So it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, you're not going to get the reveal, but it's still fun to watch.
Have you guys, another one from John Burns. Thank you, John. Have you guys watched Resident Alien? Yes, that is a good one.
I have a little bit. Yeah.
Did you like that with Alan Tudyk?
Yeah, I watched.
His name is Alan Tudyk.
I know. I wonder if he gets that. Yeah, I watched the first several episodes, and it's actually an interesting show because Alan, he's excellent at it. Yeah, excellent being an alien.
He's perfect.
He doesn't have. What's great about most aliens, when you got like Mork from Ork and a lot of aliens that they end up covering, they always have like this humanity to them because there's a person playing them. Alan manages to play Resident Alien as an alien. Like,
right.
Aliens don't know what humanity is because they're not humans.
Right.
And I love that about that show.
Yeah, he does so good.
Yeah.
And like when he finds, he sort of finds his emotion a little bit.
Right. It takes time for him to do to change, which would make the show great.
Yeah. Another one from John Burns. I like when VR Butters kicked Randy and the gonads.
That was funny.
South Park is great. What I love about South Park is the creators of South Park are constantly pushing back against any kind of narrative that they're not fully committed to wrecking your day one way or another if they think you're stupid.
They're cancelable. There's nobody else on the planet who has their status. And I think you really just need to not care. Right. And you got to give Comedy Central like a huge, pat on the back for not caving in.
Right. Yeah.
Because they could have made it really hard for them.
Yeah. It's not totally and zero care, zero shame. Like, I don't care.
Yep. They don't
in
care.
fact, if you complain about them, they'll probably end up making an episode about you that will make you look stupider than you looked before.
Right.
I love that right in the beginning when remember they had that fake psychic on, like they were making fun of the fake psychic. I forgot his name. He was a TV psychic, and they made one episode about this TV psychic and how he was fake and it was a joke. And he wasn't even like the biggest part of the episode. He was just like a side story.
Yeah.
Well, he complained and tried to sue them. First off, never do that. It's not going to work out for you. They ended up dedicating an entire episode to explaining how the fake psychic was fake, how he did its tricks, and how he's a dickhead from the planet Gonad or something like that. It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was a brutal takedown.
That's what they're good at.
Kenneth the Rogue for $22. No message. He just wants to flex. He wants to flex his power. He will stay at the top of the cage. Yeah.
He is the hero. And I think he's led the majority of it.
Yeah, he's led the majority of the time. Yeah. I don't think there's any time for anyone to catch up, but we'll see. And just to further cement his position, boom, 550.
Keep it up, he says.
John Burns for 699.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it, man. John Burns says, I screamed E.T. Speaking of, thank God, no sequel. Yeah, that's true.
We never want a sequel to E.T.
We never want
a remake. We never want a sequel.
Yeah.
It's a one-time shot.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Yeah, so a lot of people here seem to be interested in this John Campea thing. I think you got to put the Palantir about Campea tomorrow.
All right.
I'll send you all the links and all that, and just go ham.
I will talk about what I can since our good friend Robert is at his mercy as well.
Yes, John Burns. Again, it was RDJ who said never go full R word. That's true.
That's true.
It was RDJ, not Ben Stiller. Although you gotta hand it to Ben Stiller because like they were trying to like cancel him and RDJ for that movie basically. Like this is a couple months ago.
Yeah, well after the fact, of course.
Yeah, right. And he was like, "Yeah, we're not saying sorry.
Yeah,
We're not saying sorry. We're not changing the movie. You don't like it, don't watch it." Like these guys are they're OG comedians. Like they're not gonna cave. The only time they'll cave is if they actually sexually assaulted someone. That's when they'll be like, I have made many mistakes in my life.
well, if they'd actually done something wrong, but it's just it wasn't wrong. I mean, you had an actor, a character who was playing an actor who was playing an actor. It was fantastic,
brilliant. The best part when he's like, "What do you mean, you people?" And like the actual black guy, I was like, "What do you mean?
Yeah, no,
you
what do
people?
you mean, you people?" Yeah, no, it was fantastic, fantastic. It's just like Airplane, man, just perfect comedy.
Yeah, brilliant, really brilliant. Yeah, every 5 years, a new generation finds Tropic Thunder and tries to cancel him. Yep.
Yeah.
Good luck. Uncancelable. That movie is special, man.
Yeah, that's one you can rewatch quite a bit.
So we're gonna be heading to the member section here pretty soon, right, Shane?
Yeah, we are. We're gonna head over there, and we're gonna talk about. We want to talk about some stuff that you guys want to talk about. So this time, when we get to the member section, we're actually going to talk about, ask you guys what you want to talk about. But we do have some pretty cool stuff about a Russian tourist getting devoured by a shark on an Egypt beach. Literally got eaten to death, eaten alive.
How is that cool?
Well, listen, he got eaten alive in the Red Sea.
I don't
let that sink in. I know it's a terrible joke, but yeah. So the guy was like swimming out there with his girlfriend, and he actually got eaten by a shark. And they like watched it.
Isn't the Red Sea like way too salty for life to exist?
No, it's
Isn't the Red Sea is the one where you like float because it's so dense?
No, the Red Sea is that little strip of water between Egypt and in the Middle East where Moses spread the waters or split the waters.
Oh, that's right. Moses split the Red Sea. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big. So, what ocean or sea or body of water is so dense because it's so salty that you can't actually sink?
Oh, there is. Is it the Black Sea or the Caspian Sea?
Yeah. See,
it would be
the Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea. It's the Dead Sea.
And that is like
that's close to there. Yeah, so the Dead Sea is actually close to there.
And the Dead Sea is not like stagnant water, but nothing can really survive in the because it's so damn salty.
Yeah, it's actually the Dead Sea is very close to the Red Sea. The Dead Sea is in Israel. And if you look at, it's actually, what's funny is the Dead Sea at one point connected as a river. It actually connects as a river going into the Gulf of Suez or the Red Sea.
Like this is salt, you guys. It's so salty, like it's just salt deposits. Wild. Yeah, and basically here's what happens when you go into the Dead Sea because it's so damn salty. It's so dense, like the water is at maximum salt levels. Things that dissolve in water can only dissolve so far. They can't dissolve forever, right? So what happens is the salt dissolves to its maximum density and it makes the water extremely heavy. And because it's so heavy and so dense, you actually can't sink. You can't sink. Your body is more buoyant than the water because the water is so dense.
Interesting.
Really cool. Really cool.
Hey, let me ask you guys out there too. Let me know if also tomorrow, if we're going to talk John Campea, would you guys like a quick breakdown of the new Transformers movie? Would that be interesting?
You watched that already?
Thinking about taking my kids tonight.
Yeah, I'm saving myself for the Flash.
I've got that one ready too.
No, you don't understand. I'm not going to the movies.
Oh, I see. So
I picture this is what it's like. The Flash is like my husband and that's my wedding night, and I need to make my temple pure and abstain from other movies until that day.
Well, you know what they say, the first time you have sex, especially as a woman, is usually not very enjoyable.
Well, no, this is not the first time. When it comes to movies, I'm a straight up whore. but I'm saving myself for the month before. I'm abstaining for the month before from other movies to thoroughly enjoy The Flash in all its glory.
I'm afraid of The Flash. I think it's gonna. I'm afraid it's gonna be disappointing. I have concerns. But that's good. Save yourself. That's good.
I'm glad that you think it's gonna be disappointing. I want you to go in there with your expectations so low that when
it can't help but to be good.
That when you leave this movie, you're gonna be like, "Damn!" So far,
I did that with Across the Spider-Verse. I was blown away by it.
Every person I have spoken to that have somehow seen this movie, but me, I don't know how everyone can see it but me, is like, just have really good things to say.
All right. Well,
and especially if you like the DC verse, if you like the Snyder verse, this movie is going to really speak to you.
You know what my hesitance is?
Ezra Miller?
No, Robert Meyer Burnett's initial reaction after he walked out of it and the way he described it. He has since, so he gave his first description as, that was the first thing he said about it when he saw it. And since then, he's slowly like, yes, it's good. Yes, it's good. It's like his theory. It's not that it's changed, but he has like revisited his opinion. But his initial opinion was very middle of the road.
Yeah. To be fair, though, he was with John Campea.
I don't know how that changes how you feel about it.
I'm sure John Campea just sucks all the joy out of everything. So
we'll see. I did talk to Robert 15 minutes after he saw that movie, and that was the first thing I asked him. And he was like, "Oh," and you know what's the one thing he said? He goes, "You'll love Kara. Kara's great. She's a future movie star."
Yeah, but did he like the Snyderverse the way we did?
I didn't ask him that question. That's a good question.
That we need to ask him that, because I will die on this hill that the Snyderverse is a masterpiece that deserves to be honored in the annals of pop culture as one of those films, one of those classics.
Yeah. Michael Shannon refused to do The Flash until he got the approval from Zack Snyder that he could be in it.
That's weird.
Yeah, Michael Shannon. They asked him to do it, and Michael Shannon's like, I'm only gonna be in it if Zack's cool with it. And so he went to Zack because I guess he didn't like the way Snyder got treated at the end of that whole thing.
Oh, I mean, yes. Well, Snyder didn't get treated right by Walter Hamada. Everyone that talks about Walter Hamada as if he was just trying to make the best of a best. No,
we know
he went out of his way selfishly and he utilized this trauma that Zack Snyder had in his life to then take more control over the DC universe, because he didn't like the fact that Snyder was basically becoming the head of DC.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. But
he utilized a person's child dying. This is despicable. To wrestle control and then sink what was left of the DC. Sorry.
No, he's a gross human. But what I'm trying to say is Michael Shannon, like Michael Shannon is like the epitome, like whatever comes out of Michael Shannon's mouth, is the absolute truth.
Right.
It's his absolute truth. Right. He doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks. He's not He's not angry. He's like a robot. I love this man so much. I love his acting. When he talks, he just like matter of fact and like, oh yeah, that's just the way it is. And basically what he said is like, I hate what they did to Zack Snyder at the end of it. He was already dead. Zod's already out. Right? He's got no skin in the game.
Right.
Right. But he really, really likes Zack Snyder. He said it too. He goes, I really, 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 I think he said it 3 times, like Zack Snyder. So he said, Zack, is it okay with you if I do this Flash movie? And Zack's like, oh yeah, man, go ahead. You do your thing.
So, and that seems to be the consensus with a lot of actors that work with Zack Snyder. Like you can look, guys, you can not like Zack Snyder for his style, or maybe you don't like his writing or whatever. I know some people think he's a hack. I don't think he's a hack at all. I think he has strengths and weaknesses like any creative. I actually prefer James Gunn style to Zack Snyder. But that being said, you can't deny that every single actor that has worked with Zack Snyder and James Gunn, for that matter, absolutely adore these people. Like, they adore working with them. They'll work with them forever. They develop little families, little crews that then usually follow. Like, Rebel Moon has a lot of Zack Snyder people in it. James Gunn, he always has some of the same people.
That's how it works. Yeah.
And you have to, but now look at Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon never took his crew with him.
That's because the crew didn't want to follow him.
It was always a new crew because no one liked the guy. That's how you know a good creative is when you see like Nathan Fillion in 14 of James Gunn's movies, and then like this guy is not only super talented, but he's someone that people want to work with. That's special.
Listen,
like Terry Matalas.
If The Flash isn't good, what's that going to do to you?
I don't even want to speculate.
Like seriously, like I want you to just envision like coming out of the movie right now and not being good. Like how is that going to make you feel?
I'm going to take a couple weeks off.
Okay. So no streaming if The Flash is bad.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a couple weeks off. It's too much.
Wow. All right.
I don't want to hear
get ready.
All the people yelling at me like they did about Black Adam. I liked Black Adam. Damn it.
There's nothing wrong with who says you couldn't like Black Adam?
I thought Black Adam was a great movie. I watched it 4 times. I loved watching
it. Wasn't that good?
In 40. No, I loved it. I loved watching it in 40X. Well, so I saw it twice in the theater, once in 40X, and again at our dad's house. Right?
Oh, okay. All right.
Look, that movie was awesome. It was really fun. It was super quotable, and it got so much hate because of who The Rock was and everything going on with Snyder. It's like The Rock picked the worst time to make a DC movie. He really did. At the start of a brand new leadership with James Gunn, at the end of one.
Well, I think the expectations were so high. I don't think it was necessarily the timing. It's like he had to be like the greatest thing that ever came down as a superhero. Like he needed to be the greatest superhero ever in order to be successful because it was built up so much.
Well, to be fair though, the studio didn't promote the movie. It was all his. It was all on his shoulders.
Promoting the movies. I'm not talking about people not going to see it. The reason why I say that is like he was a fine superhero, right, but he wasn't like the greatest superhero ever. And that's what he was kind of leading us to believe. It was going to be like the greatest superhero experience ever. I went and I enjoyed it. It was fine, but I didn't leave the movie going, damn, that was good.
Well, yeah. So, and that's the problem when one guy is using his social media clout to promote the entire thing. Think about that compared to the way Flash has been promoted. Weirdest way. They have thrown everything, including the kitchen sink, at the Flash movie for promotion. Like Shazam and Black Adam got, a 1/10 of the promotion?
Dude, The Flash is like the perfect movie. Think about it. From a marketing perspective, you have the entire Snyderverse fans who are probably going to go see it. Mm-hmm. You have every original Batman fan who's going to go see it. Yeah. And you got the entire LGBTQ community who's going to go see it. It's like the perfect meshing of a movie. And they're like, holy crap, we need to put as much marketing behind this because we literally could get the entire planet to go watch this movie because it represents almost everybody. I mean, maybe the only person not in there is like an African-American person. I don't know.
Yeah, you got a good point. I don't think, is Ezra Miller LGBT? He's not.
Yeah, he's a they, them.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's LGBT though. That's something else.
Yes, T, literally trans.
He's not trans?
Yeah.
No, he's non-binary.
Or non-binary. Whatever. Isn't that like...
That's not part of that.
Just stop. IA. LGBTQ IA. There you go.
No, it's not a part. It's not part of the same thing, bro.
Okay, wait. Is non-binary... I'm going to look it up.
It's different. It's sexuality. I do not want to have this conversation. It's so stupid.
LGBT... No, well, I mean, you said it wasn't.
But he's not. He's not. His sexuality is not the same. It doesn't matter. It's stupid.
It does say non-binary as part of that group.
What? Well, that doesn't even follow your own rules, guys.
But they're really like Amazon. They're trying to get every group on the planet except white people. Like literally LGBTQ. If it could be like LGBTQIA/Asian/Black/Latino/
any
all of them.
Any people that could be possibly deemed as underrepresented, they want to put into this giant pool. That's a good point.
Except white.
Except for you whites, you dirty, gross whites.
And men.
And men. Dirty, gross whites and men. Straight cis males and whites. You can't be here. Get out of here, you.
I mean, look, I think we should just include everybody. Just have the LGBTQ represents the whole world. There you go.
Yeah. Whatever.
We'll make our own little flags. It'll be fun.
Except gingers.
That's the only, you eradicate all gingers.
Gingers have no souls.
Anyways.
Right. I'm kidding. I love gingers. Nothing like a good redhead. A redhead with a green skin all day long, baby.
None of those exist.
All right. We are going to the members section. If you do not know how this works, let me explain it for you, my friends. First off, if you are already a member, hang on tight. The stream will take you where you need to be. If you're part of the Prime membership, if you're on the Unleashed membership, then I actually have to create that right now while Shane finishes up.
All right.
And if you're part of the Prime membership, it'll handshake you. If you're part of the Unleashed, I'm about to create that right now. Shane, go ahead and take over. I completely
So just get ready to click the link below. We're going to go to the member section. Member section is a lot of fun. Basically, we get in there. If you've never been there before, we chat with everybody. Everybody gets a chance to chat, and we talk about things going on and try to give a little bit more inside knowledge of things going on that we know of, things that we can talk a little more freely. And it's just a really good time. So you want to come over there and join us. It's like, I don't know, it's like a cup of coffee a month. It's super easy. And plus we're giving away prize over there. And before we go to the member section here, we got to make sure we spin the wheel for Kenneth LaRoque, who is going to be today's podcast hero. Thank you guys so much for the support. And thank you all of you for supporting us, keeping us going. I was going to talk to Brian today and explain to him, the reason why we're late so many times on Thursdays is because us being on YouTube is a jobby. Okay. And that's basically a job/hobby. So we only get to do this because you guys afford us the ability. If you guys weren't helping us out and donating and being supportive, there's no way we could spend so much time doing shows here on YouTube.
Yeah, we're too poor.
It just doesn't make enough money. We got to do a job. That's what we call a jobby. It's
we are not independently wealthy or regular wealthy either.
or you'd have a hot tub of Stargate in the back.
Yes, I 100%. I would invite you guys over. We would go in my hot tub and we'd watch Black Adam on a giant 4DX screen.
Yes.
The hot tub would move. Brian, this seems dangerous. It is very dangerous.
And everything else we can think of, yeah.
All right. We're going over there. I just created the stream. So as soon as we end this, I'm gonna pop that one up. Now listen, the Prime stream, if you're newer here, is already going, and that will automatically handshake you and take you over there if you're one of those members. If not, then
and if you
click the link in the description or go to this channel, just click on their logo and you'll see the first thing streaming right now will be that membership.
Yeah. If you're not a member, then the best thing to do is to click on the link in this stream below and join. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that is the best way to do it. Okay.
All right.
We're off. Love you guys.
We'll definitely see you. So coming up just real quick, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be doing Palantir, talking all about John Campia's craziness. And maybe I'll do a little synopsis on Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, if I get a chance to go see it. Saturday, Brian will be at the Salty Nerd podcast studio. He's actually going to Vegas this weekend, right, Brian? And
assuming I get my work done, because my week has been horrible.
Yeah, I know. And so he's going to be there live with them. So that's a don't want to miss Saturday over on their channel. And then Sunday, you're not doing popcorn?
I'm planning on doing it still.
So you'll be back. Okay. So
I'm going to be a little late. Penny wanted it to be an hour late, and she's going to get her wish this week.
All right. So Brian's popcorn, what is it called? Popcorn?
The Popcorn Power Hour.
Popcorn Power Hour. Okay, got it.
The Popcorn Power Hour.
All right. You guys, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. And then on Monday, we've got, as of right now, we've got Tom Constantino coming on Monday's Raw Rant show. And he's going to be talking about the Orville and what are the chances of a season 4. And we'll also have that non-spoiler review for Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And it's going to be a fun week next week. And of course, don't forget our Saturday video coming out that's going to be talking about Star Trek Legacy and the search for Shaw. So
yeah, I want to highlight this real quick. Oh my God, if you can dial the hot tub with a ring when the ring rotated and lit up the chevrons. Right, yes.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Well, here we go. We'll see you in the member section. Boys
No. Don't leave. We got to spin the wheel.
Oh God.
Got to spin the wheel for Ken.
All right.
Congratulations, Kenneth LaRoque.
We're
You
spinning
killed it
the
today.
wheel. Are you ready, Ken?
What is he going to get?
Are you ready, Ken?
Drum roll, please, sir.
Here we go. Boom.
I hope it's something good.
Podcast hat.
Okay. All right, Kenneth LaRoque, you know how to contact us 100%. So let us know whether you'd like Brian's or I guess mine. I'll put it here. My hat. Let us know which one you want, and we'll send that off to you up there to the Great White Canada.
Mine's better.
I like mine better. It matches my shirt.
Whatever.
Okay.
All right. That's it. We are out of here. Love you guys.
Love you guys. See you next time.
Because